Is it just us four then?
I think it's just us four. Hello world, are we live?
Excellent.
I believe we are live.
Excellent. Time to discuss hot subjects.
Yep, we are now live. I've double checked. So I shall tweet that out.
Mm-hmm. So who's here? Handyman's here, LA Green Owl, Terra 15, O'Kirkus here, Raderick, Van Rickens here, Simple Electronics, Handspans, Frank, lots of people here, Dom Wright.
Hello,
the image hasn't
Hello everyone.
Up.
I've got to do the housekeeping. So
Hey Johnny. See some more regulars here.
And I've not partaken of alcohol, so I may not disgrace myself this time.
That's disappointing.
Maybe. Yeah. I do have the alcohol on standby, though. There's Mouse. Mouse of the microcomputer badge, and Mouse also of the little mini supercomputer.
Oh.
I've got my rip-off supercomputer right here.
So, and if you can hear the birds in the background, people, that is Scott. That is not pesky New Zealand.
Because of his exotic location.
Exotic location. Well, you're exotic.
Yeah,
Clive, come on.
I assumed the bird song was Julian in his shed, and it was just his garden was full of birds. But having said that, it's pitch black right now, so it wouldn't be that, would it?
Right.
No, it'd be a bit older.
So you're in a shed, Julian. How big's your shed?
No, I'm in the house.
Ah.
Oh, you're in the house, is it? Okay. Right.
I'm just checking out your backgrounds here to see what you've got.
Oh, hello. We have another special guest. Mehdi.
Oh, hi.
Oh.
Excellent.
Hey.
Electroboom.
Sorry I didn't see you sitting there.
Yeah, I was stuck backstage.
All right, let me adjust your mic volume because I have the power of a tech god here, apparently.
My volume level is a little bit low, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Even though I've got mic adjust level on.
There you go.
We're all good. How do you like my terrifyingly bad
my
background?
frame rate is quite slow.
I just stole the nearest PCB thing off the
bad.
interwebs and whacked it in the back. It's pretty horrible, isn't it?
It's quite complex. What is the circuit board? It's just got me wondering what it is.
I have no idea. I just stole it off. It had the right aspect ratio, and I just... I don't know. See if we can guess it.
Mega multi-layer anyway. It's a lot of tracks.
Mike's in the comments there saying Google Meet's still staying asking to join.
Oh, really?
Not Google Meet.
Google Meet's still saying asking to join.
Still saying asking to join.
So can I just say, I'm glad that Mehdi is still here with us. I did not realise until the Ampower podcast that the stunt with the Jacob's ladder and the microwave transformer, I didn't realise that was real.
I knew it was real. I saw it and I went, holy shit, he can't fake that.
I thought there was a sneaky. I thought there was a sneaky foot pedal.
Oh,
to kill the power.
What, you have to time it right or something? And
and I thought that's even quite a dangerous stunt to pull if you did that.
Yeah. I wish it was that. Well, it wasn't.
Wow, hang on. I'm not seeing Mike. I'll try and deal with Mike. So you guys chat among yourselves.
Okay.
Steve says Naomi Wu should join us.
Absolutely. We should get Naomi on.
Everyone's saying, Mehdi, up your volume.
Or get closer to the microphone.
Well, actually, I'm kind of at maximum on my volume. I don't know.
Okay, well, I can manually turn you up. So let me edit mic settings. Automatic.
Are you sure that you're using the right microphone? Because you sound very distant.
Me?
No, Mehdi.
Me?
You sound very distant.
Oh, Mehdi.
Actually, let's double check.
Yeah, you probably got the wrong one.
I'm using the wrong microphone.
Yep.
I thought I was audio.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like you're touching that mic, so probably not.
No.
Let me touch my mic. Tick, tick, tick.
Oh, I can hear it now.
Yeah, now.
Five professional YouTubers.
I know.
Can't figure out a microphone.
That is the microphone, but it's barely picking you up at all.
So is it not this one?
Yeah, it is
I'm
that
tapping
one.
on my microphone.
Definitely it's that one now.
Yep.
It's using the right mic now. Just quiet.
Uh-huh.
Hello, is it
You
good
can
now?
stop tapping it now.
Yes.
That's pretty crap.
It is
But we
pretty
can still
crap.
hear you, but it's I can turn it up maximum.
I might move my camera to the other side.
We'll get this together. One day we'll just
Yeah, we'll
start
get there.
streaming and everything will be working
It'll just-
perfectly. But you know,
Yeah. Be like clockwork,
is-
won't it, one day?
this is early days.
It is early
Oh, I was
days.
Medi
using
is
the
so
same
shy.
thing
Who else has Okerka in their comments, leaving snarky comments every video?
All of us.
Okay.
Yeah, all of us.
No, actually, I don't have him. That's pretty good. I think I
Oh,
can.
really?
That's good.
You haven't got Okerka? Okay.
Not yet. Maybe
Some
now.
of them are quite good. Right. It looks like a faulty video game from the 90s. Yes. Has anyone
It's a
played
real
what
mess.
is that video game where you have what is it Shenzhen circuits or something? What's it called? Has anyone
What?
played that video game?
Never heard
There
that
there
one.
is actually a video game where you build circuits and stuff.
It doesn't sound very much fun.
Sounds like work.
I thought with the background, I thought you were going to say Quicks, which is where you join the lines and all the boxes appear, if you remember that really old game. But that's going back a long way.
Because it's the background's very busy. I can change it. I can like whack it
It's
in
a bit cluttered.
That's actually
yeah,
better.
It's,
Yeah,
about
can't we just
cluttered. It's better.
Just like
Yeah.
Jet black's
yeah.
good.
Okay,
yeah.
I'll take off the wanky. All right.
It's not hurting my eyes anymore.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Ah, better, clearer.
Nice. We still don't have Mike, unfortunately. He's got
Does
problems.
he-
You should just have to visit the link I sent, the private secret.
Yeah, but he
squirrel
was
link,
talking
and-
about Google Hangouts, wasn't he? Why was he talking about
Yeah,
Hangouts?
Hangouts. Yeah, you're right.
Because it's not.
It's
is it?
I
Interesting.
don't know.
If you can hear us, Mike, it's just a.
Vineyard.
Just click
Oh,
the
did you
link
get
that
your
Dave
link?
sent.
He is waiting for a reboot. There you go.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
he was trying to use Hangouts. I don't know. Yep.
I
Hey,
did.
does Hangouts even exist anymore? Didn't
don't-
they
I think it-
can it or
I think-
something?
I think it's changed its name, isn't it? Called Google Meetups or something like that. I'm not
Oh,
really sure.
Meet or something now. Yeah, possibly.
I don't know whether I've
Might
got
need
the
to, might need to
headphones.
try a
Do I
different
need
browser as well. I don't know if
Alright,
mine needs
my
to try a different
echoing.
browser.
So I will. We've got 302 people watching. How many would you normally get on a live stream, Clive? Because you do a regular weekly.
If
live.
it's the weekend stream, it's about 1,500. I've just round about that level, which is actually far too many. This is a much more comfortable level. It means we can actually talk
Yeah.
more intimately with the chat.
Excellent. So you guys can all see the chat.
Yeah, Peter, I
Yeah,
am
someone's
the only
saying
one
they're
who's
getting-
drinking.
Someone's saying they're getting echo. Is that me? Because I'm not using headphones.
Yes, it is.
Although I've
Can
got
you hear
echo
it?
cancellation. I've got echo cancellation on for you, Julian.
Only
I'm
works
not
so well
used-
though.
How's my voice now? Is it still far away?
It's still
It's
far
still
away.
quietish. Yeah, it's fine.
Quietish, but we can hear you. Somebody loves the bird songs. We have Defpom to thank for that.
It's quite nice actually as a background.
So this,
Yeah, I know, it's good.
this comment
Actually,
doesn't,
people keep asking me
actually
if I
roll.
can put all of the birds back into my videos, because I used to have the garage, of course. When I was in the garage, you used to hear all the birds, and I've actually recorded some bird songs out there. I got like an hour's worth of bird songs, and I might just like slip it into the background of some of my videos, and then and just see if anyone notices the bird noises.
Yeah.
So-
On the
Especially when you're in the lab, because that makes total sense.
Oh yeah. well, it was back in the old day. You know, somebody's got no echo, so it's. I guess some people are getting it, others aren't, which is weird.
Shinra 18, if I do drink too much, it will definitely go quite bad. I'll say terrible things. I already said something terrible. You know there's that environmental thing going on at the moment. Is it COP28? I went to the local supermarket, and as I was going in, there was a big COP28, think of the environment, and I was thinking, I know what that involves. It involves rich people traveling to luxury hotels. And I was just walking into the supermarket, and I don't know why I did this. I just said, they're probably going to be indulging in champagne, hookers, and Coke. And I just said it really loud as I walked into the supermarket, and everybody turned around and stared at me, and I thought, shit, did I just say that out loud? Very embarrassing. I went bright red, and it was like, oh well, that's my reputation is cemented.
I have no idea about this COP thing. Is that environment conference that's going on now?
The huge financial fiasco. They could have met online and not travelled all around the world to do it, but no, apparently flying and stuff like that is better.
We do have a fellow eYoutuber in the chat, Daniel from Quayside. He's in the chat. I presume it's Daniel.
Yeah, it's usually Daniel, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he runs the show, and he just hit 100,000 subs. He just got his YouTube Silver Award.
Oh, excellent.
So, yeah, well done. Not bad for a corporate chat. It's the only corporate channel I'd watch. Like, does anyone watch some other corporate channel? Because they're all shit.
They're all orchestrated. You know, it's someone who's just been told to put up a channel, and it doesn't work that way.
Yeah. No, you can tell that Daniel loves doing it, and it comes across, and it's YouTube because it's Daniel. Like it wouldn't work with others, I don't think. It's people subscribe for the person.
You mean electronic?
Oh, Mike. Sorry, did I not find Mike? Mike's in the house. Hey, Mike.
Can you hear me? Hey, Mike.
Yes,
we've got.
No, I clicked the link you sent a few days ago, which was the Google one. Didn't work.
Excellent. All right.
So.
Oh, did I send a Google one? Did I?
Yeah, a few days ago.
Okay, sorry about that. No.
All sorted now.
Good loud audio this time,
mate.
Is it
cold in your lab, Mike?
Yeah, I've got the heating on. You might hear a few pops and bangs. It's fireworks night here, and it's like World War III's breaking out outside.
Nice. That's all right. We've got birds in the background.
Don't scare the birds away.
No, the birds are great. I'm loving the birds in the background. It's just terrific.
I think my PC's struggling with the amount of video data it's having to process.
Is it a 386, Julian?
My frame rate's very slow. Huh?
DX.
Sam is saying DigiKey is very good because like 10 minutes before this stream, I actually released a video going through finding the most expensive part on DigiKey. It was $128,000.
Ooh, I'll have 3.
And it wasn't an FPGA. I thought it would be, but that was only $115,000. The most expensive was a 4-bit. A 4 megabit serial SPI flash memory, and it was $128,000.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're doing the eBay thing where if their stock's 0, rather than delist it, they just up the price or whatever.
Yeah, I reckon that's what it was. It looks like a placeholder.
Right, because that's just insane. But yeah, that was a fun video. I was going through, and so if you sort by highest value first, you find all of this obscure, space grade, radiation hardened, wank parts, like a 7805 voltage regulator for like $8,000.
I've got some of those in stock.
Yeah, great, lots of stock.
I've got some.
Are you looking to buy some? I've got some here, but they're only $6,000 if you're interested.
Bargain.
Well, the gear I fix uses those sorts of things, so I need to keep some.
Right. You haven't heard Mehdi because he is rather silent.
Well, I don't know if my voice comes through at all or not. I can't hear myself on the video.
Just shout,
You sound
Mehdi.
quite echoey.
Okay, I've turned his mic up.
Side of the room.
I don't
turned
know
his mic up to 200%.
I'm just here to show my pretty face, I guess.
Turn
it up. You hit it now.
Mehdi is so big that he's loud enough with his presence.
Lip read.
Yeah, I wish there was some way I could hear my own voice and adjust it on my side, but I...
Yeah, I'm saying I can't hear myself either, so...
No.
I just yell, whatever I want to say, I'll just yell. I hope you hear it.
Yep. Excellent.
Just
Yeah,
like-
you're fine.
Just like the good old Electroboom we remember when you were always shouting at the microphone.
Yeah. Yeah, well, at the beginning I was quite soft when I was talking because I was ashamed of hearing my own sound. But then I started yelling and it's kind of stuck. I'm trying to get back to my soft days somehow.
Yeah, I thought the yelling added a lot. It just gave you that manic effect. I didn't realize it was just because the microphone wasn't good enough that you were shouting at the recording device, but it gave you this sort of crazy persona, which is kind of stuck. It's good.
Yeah,
it
this kind
suited
of
you.
Angry, crazy guy keeps yelling at the camera.
Absolutely. I think it added a lot to it in the first place.
I was thinking for one of my videos I should do it in full ASMR, see what happens.
I don't understand the comment that's on the screen now. Is this the Hanford Parish Council meeting? Zoom. I got no idea what that means, but I'm sure there's a joke in there somewhere.
It's a
Look,
UK.
No one knows.
I'm not even
No,
going to
I have a
search
clue.
it just in case it's some pedo ring or something like that. Just
Oh
like
yeah,
cautious.
yeah. Could be. Okay, please don't.
You can do a sympathy laugh at the joke.
I'm gonna go for.
It was so much fun.
So are
We're
you
up
guys
to-
having any problems sourcing components at the moment from your normal suppliers?
Yes.
I'm not doing much sourcing, so
Yeah,
it
me
hasn't
neither.
impacted me.
I usually buy from DigiKey and they have been fine. Sometimes they are slower than what they used to be. But
Yeah.
Something
I usually
have
buy
had
so much stuff in one go, it lasts me for years, so I'm not any problems.
Yeah, something I've had about the last 3 designs I've done. I've had to use a different, like 24 volt to 5 volt DC-DC converter chip because the one I used last time's out of stock now, so I've got to design around another one.
Yeah.
Right. So
I ordered
Mike, so Mike, are you still making stuff in volume?
We're only talking like 50s, 100s, that sort of quantity.
Okay, right.
But literally, it's gone like from a few hundred there. I've had to tell a couple of customers, okay, I've finished the board layout. Order these parts now before I submit the PCB order. Literally, and they've literally gone.
Yep.
Like a few days
For
later.
a
they're
microphone.
gone. But,
Uh-oh.
yeah, it's,
His mic is not plugged into the wall socket. There you go. That's your problem, Mehdi. Plug it
oh,
in.
yeah. I should try that.
Ian's in the house too. Ian Scott Johnson.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. There he is. There he is. Did a lot of source intake. Resistors, FETs are horrific.
Yeah.
Even pesky resistors.
JST-PH connectors, nightmare.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've had the same problem with some resistors, particularly surface mount resistors. All the common values are out of stock. Nice round values like 1K, 100K,
Yeah.
10K. But all the weird values are still in stock. But also, I placed an order for capacitors, 100 capacitors in January, and I kept every time you check the order, it was saying it's due next week, it's due next week, it's due next week, and then just now in November they just said we've given up, we cancelled the order, we can't get them anymore.
I
Dave, can you
purchased
add the new
deoxit spray. I purchased some deoxit spray recently. Well, not that recently. It took 6 months to arrive from a local supplier.
Is deoxit actually any good? Is it all hype or is it a real thing that it actually works quite well?
It does seem to, yeah. There's a few different versions of it depending what you do.
Julian's back on his phone.
Julian's
Okay.
back in the phone again, okay? Because I just wondered, you get the contact cleaner, the standard contact cleaners, but the deoxit is a lot more expensive. Does that mean it's more aggressive on things? Does it
Can
actually
be.
remove the oxides?
I've got a deoxit gold, which is a bit softer. There's standard deoxit, and I've got a deoxit fader, which is meant for controls, resistive elements. And there's also a deoxit shield, which is for precision switches, stuff like that, which is the one I was waiting for originally.
All right, okay.
I used it on my calibrator, my Fluke 343A DC calibrator, and I refurbished that.
Okay. Have you ever had any
So
problems with it, or has
it's
it been
cleaning
okay?
switches, is it?
There's a bit of a mess at the end of the sound.
No,
I heard
that
switches.
was just for cleaning switches.
Yeah.
Is it and lubricating switches? Because I was reading, like, I've got a one of those. I can't remember the brand of the decade resistance box, but it's one of the it's one of the old school ones, and they recommend a WD-40 They recommend WD-40 on the switches. That's their official
Last
recommendation. Yeah, that's what they recommend. And this is one of the leading.
It's too oily.
You know,
That's affordable.
WD-40 fix everything, though.
It does.
Stop it squeaking.
It has a high dielectric strength. I know this because I've sprayed it through live Jacob's ladders.
But it is flammable.
It is very flammable. That's why I was spraying it through the live Jacob's ladder.
Yeah, I've been there, done that.
no, I thought I actually had it here, but it's not. It's in my storage room.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Clive, how goes the hunt for a new lab?
The workshop, because it is an old workshop building, it's in
Right.
progress. It's been very quiet. It's all gone into the political system because when you buy it, apparently it takes like months for it to go through. So theoretically it's going through. It does say sold in the window, and I think it's sold to me, but I'm not going to say it's mine until like everything's been signed.
The UK housing system.
Yeah, but
Might get
it's the Isle of Man system. But it's been in the market for quite some time because it's a bit of an odd building, and I don't think it's suitable for conversion to luxury flats. So I think that's in my advantage.
So do you own the whole building and the land, or is it just like a part of a complex?
It will be the whole building if I get it, and it will just be one
Nice.
big block. It doesn't even have car parking. It does have a roller shutter door, which is quite nice.
Oh, excellent. You get big stuff in. You can get a
And
giant pick-and-place machine.
And a lift, which is quite nice as well.
Oh, wow.
Which I'm
you
going
get
to
your
take
car
to
in
bits,
for the
obviously.
shut door?
I'm not sure if you
Hey,
could actually get a car into it easily.
Get yourself a smart car or
What,
something.
lift as in like a goods lift, like just a
And-
flat thing that goes up to a level, or is it like a human lift?
A full human lift.
Oh,
So,
wow.
but I'd use it as a goods lift because to actually get it all formally approved and certified and stuff like that again, it would cost a fortune to have a lift.
Oh yeah, they're a huge they're a huge maintenance cost for buildings and stuff. Yeah, and so if we don't see you again, we'll just assume that you're trapped in the lift and it's
I'm
broken
trapped
down
in
and
the
we
lift,
can't-
yeah, and it's a nice Faraday cage, and I'm on the phone and the battery's running
Yeah,
flat, yeah. And I'm shouting at my brother, just turn the wheel.
Wheel? Is there a wheel backup? Is there like some sort of?
There's a manual for lifting and lowering so there's usually a wheel or a handle mounted on the thing, but you have to make sure
Really?
the power's off before you turn it. So you have to pull the brakes off, and then you have to manually raise or lower most of the older lifts.
Wow. So how much space are we talking about in square footage, or is it square footage over there, or is it square meters?
I haven't a clue. I don't know. It's quite big, is what I'll say. That's about it. Technically speaking,
Nice.
it was advertised as 4 levels, but one of them is a bizarre mezzanine level that basically the door into it is at face height. And it was all full of racks, because apparently it used to be a communication company was in that section. Very strange.
You're getting it for your own work, right?
Yeah. So
Wow.
I'm thinking of filling it with random things like laser cutters and 3D printers, and then giving access to other people I know and trust to actually go in and use the same equipment, just a communal facility.
Yep.
So I'm the only one with this stuck with the smallest room, huh? Mine is only 10 foot by 10 foot here.
Mehdi, but do you hoard stuff excessively? Because that's our problem.
Well, it's starting to get like hoarding.
Yeah,
I'm
but
ru-
in
I'm
income
running out
per
of space
square.
here.
Yeah, but in YouTube income per square meter or per square foot, I'm sure you outdo us all.
Probably, yeah. But,
And we
hey, I'm
we do
feeling
have a
Yeah.
we have a super chat from Namu Z. Greetings from Montreal. Most of you guys helped me rediscover my childhood interest in electronics and vintage computers. Is there a system you are nostalgic for? Ooh, there's a question for everyone.
Tricky.
BBC
Is it-
Micro.
Yeah,
I
I,
like
thought
this-
it'd be BBC Micro for you, Mike.
I thought Sinclair QL for me.
Oh, with those micro drives.
The micro drives were rubbish. They let
Yeah,
it down.
they were garbage.
A floppy disk would have been great, but the operating system, the programming language, they called it super basic, but it was just way beyond basic. It was a completely different language.
I had the old ZX81 with the expansion pack on
Oh.
the back.
Oh yeah.
Lovely one.
Had a 16k pack on the back of it. That was pretty
Yep.
awesome.
A wobbly
Start-
16k pack.
That's why I started my coding career. Well, not really career,
Oh.
passion.
Well, I started with a Tandy 1000 because it was, I don't know, it was being, this is way after its prime, so it was like, you know, but that's, yeah, because we couldn't afford a computer when I was young, so unfortunately I started with an IBM PC, but basically anything Tandy, so anything of the Tandy color computers, because that's where I used to hang out. Used to hang out at the local Tandy store and play around with the computers. So,
As did I.
Yep.
Didn't we discuss this before? How like they really encouraged the kids to come in and play with the computers because it was a really good sales thing. Because
yeah, because
adults
the kids
would come in
know
and say,
more.
yeah, why do my kids not know how to use computers? They are under-advantaged. And then they'd go and buy them a computer.
Yep.
Well, I
Oh
started
yeah,
my
I used to hang out in
programming.
the local electronic stores all the time, and I'd be the one answering all the questions. People would come up to me and ask, I think I worked there, and I'd actually pretend I worked there and just give them the answer. Oh yeah, you want this part, and you want to do this, and you want to do this, and
Well,
it was
when-
like, yeah, that was a bad smell, hanging
But
around.
when naive mothers came up to us and said, I'm thinking of getting a computer for my son, which one do you recommend? Obviously, we recommended one we wanted, which was the top-of-the-range model. So hopefully that worked. Hopefully they sold them on the basis of that, and their kid got a decent computer.
Hey, Dave, I think Julian's trying to get back in.
Oh, okay, sorry. There we go. Yep.
Oh yeah, thank
And
you.
the Amstrad
I've switched to my phone because my
464.
computer can't cope with it.
Oh, it died. Okay. No worries. Yeah, the Amstrad
Well, it's just
CPC
too
464. I had a friend who had one of those. I was so jealous. It was like the coloured keys. Oh my God, it had different coloured keys on it. I thought that was like, you know, magical for some reason. I don't like it. It was a total wank, but, you know, I just thought that was great. Dave sounds like a young Sheldon. Do I? Yeah, probably. I don't know.
I started programming on Commodore 64, if you guys remember.
Of course we do.
Yeah,
You guys are young, I don't know.
yeah. Thank you, Joop Terwin. Greetings back to the Netherlands. Much appreciated for that.
Oh, yes. There we go.
I almost
Listening
went
for great
Commodore, but
content.
Vertical.
I almost went Commodore, but gave up waiting for the VIC-20 and got an Acorn
That's
Atom
better.
instead
Now how do I get the mic, the
Right.
speaker
as a
working?
kit.
Oh, as a kit, that's even better.
Yeah,
Exciting
very
days,
much.
the Acorn Atom.
Speaker.
Remember that.
yeah.
Speaker,
yeah.
speaker.
And the real fun on the Atom was the keyboard. It was this like plastic moulding with like pins, like about half-inch long pins, which were like springs, and trying to get this every single key onto the PCB in one go without
Oh.
a single one of these being bent. That was
Oh, no.
a whole evening's work.
Optical
Because
trace.
that's-
I noticed you're saying you had an Apple Pet at school. That was probably a Commodore Pet. I don't think Apple did one called a Pet, did they?
No.
But yeah, I
We
can
have
imagine
a
those.
fellow
Spectrum as well.
YouTuber. We have fellow YouTuber in the chat, Bruce Simpson, XJet. Hey, Bruce.
Aha.
Cruise missile guy.
Yes. I don't think he's in our group, is he? Is Bruce in our eYoutubers group? He should be. He's not in it.
Just gonna see if I
XJet.
can get some headphones.
I really wanted a Commodore Pet. I almost talked my parents into it. It cost £399 back when that was basically just like, oh, such a huge amount of money. And I'd almost talked my parents. They were on the verge of buying me a Commodore Pet. And then Sinclair brought out the ZX81 that was like, that was that scuppered. They said, oh, there's one for £100, and that was it.
Pounds.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
I thought the Pet was much more expensive than that because it was like a big machine with the monitor, sexy monitor and everything, the angled monitor and the whole.
It looked like
Shebang.
something out of Star Trek. It was
Yeah, it
how
was great.
computers were supposed to look.
Exactly. Yep. Fran is missing. I totally agree. Fran should be here. She is in our group, but she didn't want to. Well, we didn't hear back from her, so I presume she's too busy moving. I think because she
Yeah.
got booted out
Again,
again.
yeah.
So Clive, very smart move buying, buying your place and not renting. I've owned this place here
Headphones stuck on this
for
bloody phone.
11 years now. I think 12, 10 at least. I've owned
Thank
this
you,
place.
DJ. Thank you, DJ Manuel. Much appreciated. What's the most expensive boat you ever found in DigiKey? That's what Dave was talking about there earlier on.
Yes,
I think.
yes. I just released a video, so yeah, we were. The answer for me in my search for this video was $128,000, and it was an SPI flash memory. So
You should do a bounce off that one. The cheapest part you can find on DigiKey.
oh,
Ooh.
okay,
I'm-
yep. Leave it in the chat, people.
It
Cheapest
could be a
part.
white
Well, it's
lead,
got to be a
actually.
set.
My
It's
guess would be
gonna be-
a white lead.
A resistor,
Mike's
probably.
Mike's guessing a white lead,
No, I'm thinking a resistor for the cheapest component.
Yeah, I suppose,
a 0 ohm jumper resistor.
I don't know about that. I think the
a
zero,
I know.
resistor.
the 0 ohm ones are a little bit more expensive because they're kind of niche, I think.
And just for those in the chat, by the way, if anyone does a super chat, I will donate it to some charity. I don't know what, but we'll donate the super chats to
A
charity.
worthy technical charity, probably.
A technical charity, maybe the
I don't know, what are there technical charities?
Electronic Frontier Foundation or something, so that if we ever get booted off YouTube, they'll come to our rescue.
Yeah. I support Wikipedia and archive.org. I think archive.org is really important because, it's such an essential reference for stuff.
I agree.
I think you can even download software from archive.org that I wrote ages back before ripping it off the internet because people used it in products. But I think it's still up there if you know where to find it.
I think my videos are archived on archive.org. I didn't know you could archive videos on there, but apparently my podcast videos are all archived on there. I don't know who did it or how, or whether or not the search bot just found them, and I don't know, but apparently they're on there. So
I get the feeling the
couldn't take
guys
them
at
down if I tried.
the guys at archive.org, if they've got something they like technical videos, they'll add that into the list, so to speak. Thank you, Peter Stevens, much appreciated.
Yes. All
And
the
spend
YouTubers
as
the
much
same.
as you can on eBay, AliExpress, and Banggood. Yes. I just found a very interesting seller on AliExpress who sends what is basically dumpster trash. Literally, there's quite a lot of them. I bought some LED filaments, and I'll show you some of the stuff. I bought a selection of these LED filaments. The little coloured ones with coloured phosphor gel.
I don't know
And,
about some of those recently.
Yep. So these are the ones that arrived broken because there was absolutely no proper packaging in them. So these are the broken ones. These are the good ones. Not a good mix. Also, these fashionable wibbly wobbly LED filaments. Let me show you one. Let me show you one that. It's basically a 3-volt LED filament, but it's just all parallel LEDs. It's using the flexible circuit board, and they've used those flip chip LEDs onto it. But they've done something. These are the rejects. I don't even know if this is going to show. It probably won't show because it's so bright. But the illumination isn't even along it because some of the flip chips have been put onto the circuit board upside down, but they've still made a solder connection. So it looks like a barcode, and these are obviously the ones that came out the dumpster out the back of the factory. Still
The ones
good
of
for
those, the ones of those I picked up about 6 inches long, and they're brighter at the ends than they are in the middle, and it's
These ones
pretty
are-
consistent.
These ones are brighter at the ends as well, but you'd think that it's powered from one end and powered from the other. So you'd think, I'm not sure. Usually I'm used to these things being fairly even along the full length because they do that, but it's not. Strange.
Wow.
I don't know how they've achieved that. It's very
I
clever.
actually found my one seemed to run a bit better, about 2.8 to 2.9 volts rather than 3. Otherwise, the current got a bit excessive.
Okay. What did you just say? You ran them at 9 volts?
2.8 to 2.9.
Oh right, 2 point. I thought. Okay. I just current limited.
I saw Mike. You did a video on those, didn't you?
Yeah, ages ago. I think it's called Lead Spaghetti or something. I've got
Yeah,
something like
yeah,
the sort
yeah,
of
that's
the,
right,
like,
yeah.
really long ones. They're really cool.
What do you use them for, typically?
Just playing around with. I haven't used it for anything practical.
Pretty much.
Playing around
A
with.
cool thing.
Yeah.
You can get
I was going to put some
expensive-
lighting on my bench, but I haven't got there.
Yeah.
Does it have a real application in somewhere?
Well,
or?
fake filament bulbs. That's what they
It's
use them for.
It's used as a spiral old carbon style filament lamps.
Oh,
these ones were super cheap. These were only about £1 each, so I kind of knew they were going to be crap. I got what I deserved, and it's fine. I'm fine with that. All those ones work.
Someone said donate the super chats to the right to repair lobbyists.
I would agree with that.
Lewis has enough money.
That's not a good choice. I think he's getting some big income now. Yeah.
Feed his cats.
Yep. I think that's paying bank. Although he's not drawing a wage from it, but he's
No.
yeah, he's getting the money in.
Lowful
I
was
already
asking.
donated a significant amount, so.
How's my sound now? I changed my microphone. Is it
Oh,
Oh, that's
yeah,
good
yeah.
now. Yeah, it's
There
much
we go.
better.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
good.
There we go.
huge. It's full
Yep.
power.
Am I
ready.
still in the chat?
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just
Some were
switching to
saying-
my Chromebook.
Excellent. Good choice. So someone is saying, where's the sparks and flames?
Should I blow something up?
Oh,
here we
no.
go. Wait, whoa.
That was a bit closer than expected, but not to worry.
Still got eyebrows there, Clive.
More or less, yeah. It's the beard I'm worried
the
about.
important thing. Yeah, the beard's the trademark. You can't lose. Is that beard insured, BigClive?
No.
Beard insured?
I don't think I'd be able
I'd get
to-
insurance for it.
I don't think I'd be able to afford insurance, given all they need to do is watch one of my videos and they'd say, you're not getting any insurance at all. That's despite having the prop fire extinguisher here.
Oh boy. So who's actually got insurance here? Apart from me, am I the only one who's got like insurance? Because I'm probably out of all of you guys, I think I'm the only one who actually shoots videos on site. Is that right?
I carry liability insurance, but it's associated with working in the entertainment industry. I'm kind of
Right.
required to do that. Did Mike just shoot some flames there?
Yeah, it's just IPA.
All right.
You want to see a capacitor blow
Oh,
up,
that's-
maybe?
Anything, yeah.
Oh yeah. Whoa, nice.
That wasn't loud. I have to
No,
try
it
again.
wasn't. It was a bit lame, but we saw it. We saw it.
That's okay. I have a whole.
That's better, yeah. It's
I have a whole
it's
tape and reel of capacitors I can blow up.
Oh.
It's so slow.
If it's on a reel, maybe you should make a machine that loads each one and automatically blows it up continuously.
Would be nice. Let's try again.
Oh, just buy them from AliExpress to do that anyway.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's better, yeah. Did you actually unplug it first?
Unplug what?
The capacitor, yeah.
Those super insulated pliers too. They,
Yeah.
you know, they're not
With the
exactly
hole in
a.
I made my plier dirty now.
Yeah.
Did you get
What's
that
left
one,
of them?
Yep,
Yeah.
we got it full
That was
screen. We got it full
amply
screen.
loud.
Okay, nice. So I don't have to try it again.
No,
Yeah.
no, it was good. Well done.
Yeah, it reminds me of a place
I'm
I used
actually
to.
liking this Streamlabs thing. It's
Yeah, it's
working
working well.
really well. We can I can make people live and large, and we've got the chat. The only thing I don't like is that I can't put the chat on the screen and embed it in the video. I wish they had that. That'd be nice.
You
So-
can share a screen or a window. You can do sharing. I don't know
Yeah,
if maybe
I
you could
can
add
do
one in
that,
separately.
Yeah, but it adds the whole screen, so I can't just go like part of a screen, which is
Okay.
where the comments are. So yeah, it's
Because you could share a window. Maybe you had like a second account coming in as a shared window. Could you do that?
no.
Okay.
Well, I can do a screen on the side, but it's going to take up too much, and then we'd all become really small. And yeah. Oh, Kirkus says my reefer was louder. Who
Reefers-
hasn't had a reefer cap blow up on
They're-
them? Who
Do
hasn't?
what? They still sell them. Why? Who would even buy one of those? Even if they fixed the problem, you just wouldn't buy one of those.
Yep. Oh no, he's got a T-shirt. What? Oh, hang on. Solo. What is that? She's got a blow reefer.
Oh, so true.
What about
number
shirts?
of-
Classy.
The number of them you find. I recently got sent, and I have to find that again and feature it. I had an elevator control PCB sent, and the snubber network was a resistor in series with the reefer capacitor, and the resistor's burnt out. The capacitor's the usual burnt signs where it's shorted out. And it makes me wonder what load was, because it's across the contacts. So until that resistor burnt out, the load was energized when that capacitor failed. And it's an elevator, so what was it actually energizing? Because whatever
Right,
it
Dave,
was
I'm
not...
ready to come in on my Chromebook.
Okay.
All right.
We're waiting,
Yeah.
Julian. We're waiting for you to come in your Chromebook.
Okay. No, he's still there. He's still on his
Yeah,
phone.
Julian, it should work because it's designed for old people.
This one
There's
should
a
work.
reason. There's a reason why we don't use OBS Studio. It's because this is just much easier to implement from from having guests in
Am I
and
in
stuff.
yet?
You just send them a link and it just works with the browser. Oh yeah, there we go. And it just works with the browser and it's just nice.
I use OBS on my live streams normally, so
Yeah.
but it's different.
Yeah.
Mako, it could well have been one of the contactor controllers, so you don't know. It might have actually tried bringing the lift motor.
Oh, that's better. You hear me?
Ah. You'll
Yep.
be, yeah,
Yes.
You'll be glad to know, Julian, I featured a 12-volt LED strip light, and it's one of those things that I got it from AliExpress, so it's compatible with your sealed lead acid batteries and stuff like that. But what they call it a purification light. It's an LED batten, and that translation thing, I don't know where it came from. It's called a purification light, and I don't know. There must be some reason. And even CPC, which is part of Element 14, they sell these lights that I use for my studio, these little batten lights. They call them grid lights, and I don't know why, or great lights. And I just don't know why these names. I don't know where they come from. I think it's somebody makes a mistranslation, then just the name sticks.
So what you say about computers for old people, don't know if you ever remember the old Sony, my first Sony range of like really simple like cassette recorders. I always thought they should do another version for like OAPs called My Last Sony.
My last Sony. Yeah, I like it.
It would have to be waterproof.
Yeah.
Thank you, GP.
It's going to run out
Everyone
to the
with
shed
their-
again.
Oh,
Low-key bench brag behind them, except Medi, he is a bench of pain. Oh, name came from China translation team. It did. There's a good chance they mixed words up and then they thought this was some light, and it's a puzzle to find out. Talking of puzzles, I've got a product here, and it's hold on, I'm going to try and find it. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to try and find the product.
oh, is this did anyone else get an email from this puzzle company? Like who do these intricate, tech puzzle things? And they're offering me to send me one. And it's this big intricate one, and it's got big lamps on the top, and it's got, and you've got to figure out how, it's got a rotary dial phone on the side, and you've got to figure out how to get into the thing. And they wanted me to do a review on it or something, and I went, nah.
Yeah, once in a while
Let's get
we
it for
get
kids.
these emails.
Get it for the kids, they might like it.
You know, these companies that just put everyone in the send list and send it to everyone and say...
Yeah, I know. I get the worst ones are the companies that don't blind copy everyone, so they'll they'll like spam all of the YouTubers, and you'll get all of it, and I'll put them CC instead of BCC, and I always write back and say, "You idiot! You don't learn how to use blind copy." It's like so they whole list of YouTubers.
You always get that one YouTuber that sort of like replies their marketing and says, "Yes, we are interested in your product. Please send it."
Yeah, that's right.
It's usually me.
Right.
Oh, here we go.
And there are some irrelevant products too, like, what is this, the Sterling company or something? They send like these mechanical...
Sterling Engine,
Yeah.
They've emailed me a couple of times as well. Yeah, they're actually nice, really nicely built, engineered little kits.
Engineers,
They're like,
they're quite smart.
Yeah, that's pretty good, just that it's irrelevant to what we do.
yeah, no, exactly. I'm not going to do a freaking review on it.
I've been offered, they say, we love your channel, we follow all your videos, could you review this? And you look at it, and it's a handbag with a compatible makeup set, and it's like, no, I mean, the temptation is to say, yes, please send me the handbag, and then make a video of me doing a shit in it.
Well, maybe you don't show your face in your videos much. What maybe they saw your face and realized you need some makeup or something.
Yes, he's obviously a pretty woman. Yes, that's correct.
I don't review stuff which is relevant, so.
So this device, right?
That's a
this
device.
it is a device from China, and you turn it up, and it plays chants, right? This is I don't think this is going to do copyright strikes. But you click through and it's got all these little loops. So I opened it up, and just because it's what you do, there was a memory chip inside. I desoldered it. I took a dump of the software on it, and I thought
my equipment shit.
I thought it was going to be MP3 files, and it turns out it's not. I put it up there for my channel policy to look at, and they were all trying to reverse engineer it, and it turns out that they have reverse engineered it, but it's using a proprietary codec for the audio, and also part of the software is also encrypted. They've really gone to major lengths to protect it. But he said that if you wanted, I could send them sound files like farting and things like that, and they could actually put it onto this now. So the chant could be interrupted by a loud, raucous fart.
They give it to your local charity shop.
Yeah, and put it back in the shelf. Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Just called it the profanity flower.
I think I've got it working now.
Excellent.
But I don't quite know how the microphone switching thing works.
Okay.
How do we know
It's
who's prioritised for speaking?
All of us, really. Yeah.
We're all, it's not
That's
one of those,
pretty
it's not like Zoom or some other program where it cuts people automatically. So
It just mixes all the sounds together, right?
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
So I think that's better. Otherwise, it sounds really choppy. In fact, I don't even have that option. I don't think there's.
You have to get used to it, though, don't you?
There might be, but-
Because you can't hear yourself, you just don't know whether you're coming through.
Oh, I hate hearing myself. There's YouTubers who do like or podcasters who like feedback their own audio to their headphones.
Yeah, I'd far rather hear myself.
Oh,
Otherwise, I don't know
Chief.
whether I'm in or not.
I actually find it quite hard to not hear myself properly with the earphones in. I actually like to hear myself as confirmation just a little bit.
oh, really? You do? So you're one of them. You're one of them people who like.
I used to be an audiophile.
okay,
but
right.
not when I was wanky audiophiles, a real one.
Oh, are you?
Right.
Okay, that's okay then.
Well, it could be
Not-
beneficial to
not one of
some people.
Those ones.
That's why I'm called Defpom.
All right.
Yeah, I saw somewhere like a while back that like if someone has a stutter or somebody had a stutter and a doctor feedback their voice to themselves with a delay and it fixed their stutter.
Ooh,
So maybe
interesting.
maybe that's not too bad to have.
Yeah, I just hate doing it. Like I just
My computer's got
I
stuff
just
in it.
rely on the fact that I've set up my mic volume properly and everything's going to work. And 99.99% of the time it does. And other cases I lose all my stuff because I muted my audio or something like that. You know, my mic's muted or some dumbass thing or some Windows drive.
Hey, Clive, on a Chromebook,
You know.
Uh-huh.
on a Chromebook, how do you see what the processor, how much processor it's using?
Oh, I'm not sure. I've never tried
You
that.
can you give it the 3-finger salute and then go into the task manager and that's got a performance tab?
Hold
does
on.
it still
I'm
work
going to
like that, or is
settings
that?
here. On
Oh
mine,
no,
I'm
that's
looking.
no. Those things.
No,
don't
this is a
run...
Chromebook.
Oh right, they don't run.
I don't know if there is an option
Windows.
for seeing the current. I
No,
don't
it's
think there's a
Linux.
task manager equivalent.
There's no task manager equivalent.
Because I'm getting a lot of
Julian.
scratchy breakup.
Yeah.
It's all broken.
Julian, are you on
also-
Wi-Fi or are you on Ethernet connection?
This one doesn't have Ethernet, so this is just Wi-Fi
Oh,
only.
okay. Right.
You've also got an excitingly retro frame rate right now.
Yeah, all my
Where's
computers are
AVE?
from the 1970s.
Avis in Canada.
Does he mean where is AV in our chat or where is his actual location?
Did we ever invite? Yeah.
I don't
He's
know
not,
if we ever
he's not
invited
super
him.
electronic as such, so he's more mechanical. But having said that, he's
Yeah,
technical
he's certainly
worthiness.
in our sphere. I think half of our audience watch him. So you know, it's yep.
Yeah.
And I don't think he
Certainly
ever
is.
shows his face. I don't know if he wants to.
No,
show-
he's mysteriously
Yeah, he's
anonymous.
mysterious
A
that
lot
way.
of people try and track him down and find out his real name and his location.
There's a lot of people like
And,
that. I mean, the lock-picking lawyer's never shown his face, has he?
No, he hasn't. The lockpicking lawyer, no.
Well, he could put a mask on and still join the chat.
But one of those V for Vendetta masks.
Yeah. That'd be great.
Or his own logo. The what is it? The burning chip.
Yeah.
This old Tony did show his face, JP.
I don't know
I missed
old
that.
Tony.
Never saw that.
Who's old Tony?
This old
another-
Tony is a more sort of machinist's channel, but he's got a very entertaining way of... The main reason his channel is so successful is that he couples it with really funny skits and entertainment throughout it. It's a very characterful, a lot of editing.
Yeah, very good
Yeah,
editing.
very tight editing.
Don't think I've ever
Which I
watched
know
it.
nothing about. I'm the total opposite to tight editing. I think the only tight editor here is Medi. I think
Yeah.
Medi would be the only.
Let the 3. Oh, I missed it.
Yeah,
What's it,
he'd be
editing?
the only one.
Oh, wait a minute. I've
That's
got
what I
it.
spent hours
Very
doing
cool.
and still not getting a good result.
Someone was telling me how to get the processor usage. Oh yeah,
Okay,
3 dot
cool.
menu at the upper right, more tools, task manager. Oh, I'll try that.
Someone reckons
Oh,
Marco
hold it.
Reps.
More tools. Is
Yeah,
there a
more
task
tools.
manager?
Reps, yes.
Oh, there is.
Good.
There is a task manager.
Yeah. Oh, I've got
So
it.
here we go.
Ooh, it's exciting.
The browser is using
CPU
70%,
120%.
GPU 30%. Time to buy yourself a new Chromebook, Julian.
Yeah, mine's pathetic. All
This
my
one is
computers
an-
are rubbish.
This one is an Asus, and it was from John Lewis, and it was really, surprisingly, it was almost too cheap. Very odd.
The only decent piece of kit I've got is my phone, but the trouble on that is that the speaker was so quiet, I couldn't hear you lot.
Ah,
No headphone socket on that.
But I've gone to the Chromebook now, and I've got my headphones in, so that's working now.
up there's BitLooney and Marco Reps. There's a good channel.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, agreed.
Both of them.
Is he in our group?
Both of
No,
them, indeed.
he's not in our group, is he?
He's not. Not yet.
For those who don't know, we do have an eYoutubers group. Was it Julian who set it up? Was it you, Julian? Who originally? I can't
No, it
remember
was
who originally set
actually-
it up.
It was Gaston in Argentina. who
Gaston.
said
Oh,
it.
that's
indeed.
right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was donkeys years ago, and it's just a,
Yeah.
a Gmail email list that we just
We-
send out occasional emails to each other.
We should
Thank you,
update that
David
soon. We
Garrett,
should add some
for-
more.
Thank you,
Oh,
David
someone's gonna-
Gerritsen, for showing me where the task manager is. Cheers.
Gaston
much
from
help,
Beauty and the
but-
Beast, indeed.
It's kind of working.
By
I can
invitation
really
only.
see, Clive, how you can't handle like thousands of people in the chat. You know, if the chat just went
It's
really
a blur.
full speed.
Goes so
Yeah.
fast, eh?
I have to avoid looking at. See if I'm in the middle
Nope.
of discussing something and I actually glance down at the chat, it instantly distracts me and I go off in a random direction.
Are you guys on
Ian Scott Johnson, we can send you an invite.
Okay.
We can send Ian Scott Johnson an invite, guys.
hmm
Show of hands for him to be invited into the club. Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay, we have a quorum.
And,
Yes.
and
Okay.
Secret
Marco.
committee.
And Marco of Marco
And
Reps.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we should get everyone in because we don't chat much. It's just the occasional email about shit that's happening.
Just grumping about YouTube, basically, yeah.
Yeah, pretty
When
much.
it suddenly
yeah.
decides to demonetize all our videos, yeah. That's what it was. That's why it started in the first place. Didn't it start with the apocalypse? That's why we kind of got together in the first
apocalypse.
place.
Yep. Oh,
'Cause we're all quite-
We have a better half. We have a better half on the stream.
Hmm.
There was an actual female. There was an actual female on the stream.
Wow,
Alert.
that's
Warning,
very
Will
strange.
Robinson.
Where?
What's your percentage of female viewers? Because mine,
About 7.
Start-
5.
My Chrome is
7's good because mine
Wow,
went from
that's
1,
huge.
it went up to about 3, and it's hovered there.
Mine goes from about 3
Mine's
to
about
5,
5.
depending on over the stat period you choose. But I don't think it's ever gotten under 3, and it's been as high as 5.
I think mine was helped a bit as I did some repairs on some kitchen appliances. I did like a range hood oven repair, sewing machine repair as well, things like that. So I think that's helped to bring a few more in.
Oh, I still get emails from I repaired a Medela breast pump. Right, so I actually repaired a breast pump, and I get these emails from all these women wanting me to repair their breast pump or something. So they've seen my video, and they've
I think I get women seeing my videos, those domestic kinds of videos, so they can nag their partners about fixing their things.
Thank you, Rassembot,
I guess, I don't know.
who has donated on my previous live stream.
Okay.
And thank you,
I've got
DJ
headphones in, so I
Manuel.
can't hear any.
Is
Can anyone
Photonic
read
also
that?
in the group? Photonic has been invited, but declined. He's not really. You know what Photonic's like? He's a bit sort of like.
Yeah, he doesn't do
Strange.
emails. He doesn't do computers,
No.
I don't think.
No.
I've emailed him quite a few times during his down period, just checking up on him,
What's this
and he
two-tone?
always replies. He always replies. So I was the one
Yep.
who put it out there that no, he's not dead. He's actually still alive, and he sent me photos of his lab and stuff during the downtime. So
He made a batch of good videos, but he stopped making again, didn't he?
has he? Has he stopped making again?
Well, I haven't
Haven't
seen
for a
it in a
while.
month or something.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
Well,
right.
Maybe he's
Rassembot's
doing a bigger
message.
project.
Yeah, Rassembot's message was Russia will be free. So it's a political statement.
Oh, is it? Old dudes won't get female viewers. Okay, so you got to have the
Yeah.
young whippersnappers, right?
It says, "Does this breast pump come with a penile attachment?" I shouldn't have said that right at that point in time.
Who's old here? Not me. I'm not old.
I'm old.
Well, the
Young-
question
I'm a
is,
young whippersnapper.
it's
what is
relative.
old? Because remember when you were young and you saw the people with grey beards and you thought, they are old.
Yeah.
And then you get here and it's like, well, I don't particularly feel old, actually.
No, exactly.
I
think
receive
it's-
a lot of comments from my viewers saying, "Oh, he's getting old before our eyes" or something like that.
Is that the male pattern baldness thing? I'm not really sure.
Well, I was bald for a long
That's-
time, but I think
that's-
it's the white beside my head.
Ah,
I get so many comments on the grey hair, and yeah, I do have some grey hair, grey hair, but it depends on the light. Like if I get the light at the right angle,
Yeah,
it looks
the
like my
lighting is important.
entire head's grey, and it's like, yeah, I
My
don't do
entire
myself
head's
any
grey.
favours.
yeah, you need
I do
some
not do
purple
myself any
rims for you,
favours.
Julian.
Yep.
Just look
do.
at a few of your old 10-year-old videos. It makes you feel old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is blonde, by the way. I just thought I'd mention that. It's not grey.
Is Scott an Aussie?
No.
No, he's not a sneaky Aussie. Nah, he's a sheep shagger. Yep,
Yeah.
as we call New Zealanders. Yep. Fish and chops. I actually love the New Zealand accent, but we still anything. For those who don't know, anything good that comes out of New Zealand, if it's a celebrity, a band, actor or whatever, we steal them. We actually call them Australian. So, yep, that's a thing.
Yeah.
That's an official.
So
I
you-
think it's in our
Some of our
constitution.
Canadian artists,
that we
we
have
prefer they are from somewhere else. Like Justin Bieber, if you want to take him, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. We don't want to touch Dustin Bieber. No.
Keep him.
So, Dave, you like
That-
your neighbours,
that-
do you? You like the New Zealanders.
Yeah, we like the New Zealanders. I do love the New Zealand accent, and it's a great country. And we for those who don't know, we do actually have a free. Well, we used to before COVID. New Zealanders can come here. Like there's no visa, there's no nothing, and they can live and work here. Is that right, Scott? You can live and work here for like 10 years or something, or
believe you can.
indefinitely. There's no cap.
I believe
Yeah,
you can.
I think we can
I've actually
go-
got an issue. Well, not really issue, but right now I've got circumstance happening right now. My in-laws are actually emigrating to Australia.
Oh, right.
I know they can't get there. And they sold the house.
COVID crap.
They sold the
They
house.
sold their house, and they could, and then
And
COVID happened.
and they're living with me right now.
Yeah, crikey.
So
Damn.
they can't go over there until the flights. I think it's like December. I think the flights start again, so they can get over
Oh,
That's not a knife.
yep. Thank you, the Chipmunk. Chipmunk says, "Hi guys, good to see you all here." And Mrs. Defpom yet and said, "Every old person is a young person going, what happened?" We've also got Pixel Squish who has left a message in Russian, but Pixel Squish is probably not Russian. "You will know a lot soon. You will grow old." I'm not sure what that even means.
The knife. There it is.
The knife. Aha.
The glint of the light. Look at that. Beautiful.
Yes, that's your mailbag knife. Here's mine.
Yep. Oh,
Have you wiped
yes.
Have you wiped
Here's
the
my
blood off?
mailbag knife.
Nice. Yep. I think I need to sharpen it.
We're not allowed knives, apparently.
Do the old Crocodile Dundee thing.
That's my knife.
Who
My knife
carries a
missing its
knife on
handle.
them? Who's got an everyday carry?
No.
There's mine. No, you don't have an everyday carry.
A
Really?
what? Nope.
Not a knife.
God, we're not
No?
allowed anything like
Oh.
that. Do you know?
Oh,
I had
Get
to have
arrested
them.
for
I don't know
that.
what
what
happened.
is that one, Scott?
Yep. If I
It's a Leatherman.
in the UK, if I had a
right,
Leatherman,
okay.
yeah. No, if I carried a Leatherman in my belt in the
Yep.
UK,
Ah, nice.
I could actually
Okay,
be
that's-
arrested.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's got a resin. That's got a resin thing. You can be
Yeah, I
arrested.
have a similar
can't you?
thing.
Oh,
We
hang
don't
on,
need
hang-
knives.
Hang on, I've got to go
We
back.
just use
Oh,
conversation.
oh, there we go. Right. Yeah, I carry the Victorinox Mini Champ. So this is the Mini Champ, and it's got. Well, I have to get a pen replacement. The pen's really handy. You have no idea. Oh, sorry, I didn't.
I'm still on this
there
one.
you go.
Oh, no, it's not.
Yep. Yeah, mine's the Mini
Hello,
Champ.
wakey,
It had a pen in it,
Stupid machine.
and it's so handy. Carry it everywhere.
Yeah, the only everyday carrier I've got is a torch.
Torch. I do have a torch everyday carry,
Yeah.
and it's called
That's
a
true.
torch. It's not called a flashlight.
No,
It's called a torch.
But it's
I've
a bit
got,
of both.
I've got a hammer. I've got a hammer. Is
Hey,
that
hammer?
any good? Is that, yeah.
I've got
I
one of
don't-
those AV
I don't
hammers.
think I could
yep.
be arrested for carrying this in the street, could I? I'm not really sure.
maybe.
Oh, I don't know. It's an offensive weapon still.
It is an
Well,
offensive
here,
weapon.
there are 5 reasons. I've looked at the New South Wales knife laws, which is my state. There's 5 reasons you're allowed to carry a knife. One is for peeling fruit. So all you've got to do is carry around an apple or something like that, and then you're allowed to carry a knife. One is for work, of course. So I use it for work, obviously. 3 is for sport. So if I ever get pulled over, what do you want the knife for? Geocaching. It's my sport. It's my knife for my. It's my knife for my geocaching sport. 4 is if you're a collector. So if you go into a show or something like that, there's an exemption in there to carry your knife to the show. I don't think you can just carry it. Oh
Very good
yes,
expert.
I love collecting knives, and I've got this giant sword or whatever. And 5th is my absolute favourite, religion. Religion. So if you've got a religion,
swords.
so I've got to carry my knife.
Okay.
Is it the Muslims have a ceremonial knife?
No, it's the
No, that's the
it's the
Sikhs.
Sikh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right,
yeah,
Sikhs.
Sikhs
Oh,
have
okay.
a ceremonial knife. Yeah.
So basically speaking, the Sikhs, which are one of the most peaceful religions, actually carry a chib with them.
They
didn't
carry
know that.
most of them
It's a
carry
symbol of
jewelry.
something.
Yeah, usually they'll carry like a little knife, like bracelet or a necklace or something like that. They'll carry like a jewelry version of it rather than a real knife. So, yeah,
Technically speaking-
that's in our laws. Yep.
Technically speaking, I suppose then, is the ski and do, which is the traditional Scottish knife that is worn down the socks. I'm not really sure. I've never had one.
Is that a
You
religious
don't need a
thing
knife
or
if you carry your car keys around. They're pretty sharp.
Mm.
Someone carried a Victorinox Classic. Yes, I do have a selection of Victorinox. I do have a Victorinox Classic.
I've got a big old Swiss Army knife. It's quite a massive thing. It's about that
Oh
wide.
yeah, it's quite large.
I used to
yeah.
carry that
I've
when I
got-
was younger.
Yeah.
Massive thing. So it's a massive one.
I used to carry the Classic, then I went to the Victorinox Executive, I think it is, which is a bit slimmer and a bit not quite as long. But then once I found the Mini Champ, the Mini Champ's the duck's guts. So,
Let's see if I can find
yep.
Yeah.
Never
Oh,
would.
House key shaped knife. Yeah, that's a good one.
In Canada, it's illegal to carry tasers. I don't know
As
if
in
it's-
Britain.
I'm sure.
illegal
I'm
to
sure
possess
that's
them in
illegal here
Britain.
too.
Wait,
Yeah.
in US it's legal apparently.
It's classed
There
as a
was
gun
some-
here.
Yeah, it's like a firearm.
Yeah, there
over
was
here.
some YouTuber who threatened another YouTuber with a taser. They actually showed it on camera. Oh yeah, there.
Wow,
Oh
look
yes,
at that.
I've got the cyber tool, which is not quite that big. Wow, hang on. I'm going to put that full screen. There we go. Yep. That's just insane. That's just
That's
nuts.
ridiculous. That's almost to
Yeah.
the point of being unfunctional.
That is taking the piss. That is.
Yeah.
That's,
Rubbish if you bite your
Oscilloscope in there
fingernails
somewhere.
as well.
yeah. So there was this year. I can't remember who the YouTuber was, but they threatened another YouTuber with they showed, I've got a taser. I'm going to tase your ass or whatever. You know, the usual YouTube drama shit, and the police came around and arrested them because it's actually illegal to own it. So
I'm trying to think of which YouTubers that could be. That's Naomi Wu, probably. And you.
it was one of those drama YouTubers. You know, it was one of those. You know, it's certainly not in our sphere. It's
one of the very
yeah.
popular channels for norms.
Oh, hang on. This can't be right. Where's XJet's comment? My Swiss Army knife hacker version has a USB port and a port pirate. What's a port pirate? I don't know what a port. Anyone know what a port pirate is? XJet will tell us, I'm sure.
I know what's a porch pirate. What a port pirate.
Port pirate. I don't know.
Oh, I have a load of DEF CON
Oh, that's
badges
better.
here. And I really feel I should show the DEF CON badges, but I'm kind of scared to power them up because I just know, because of the very area that they're involved in, that they're probably going to start scanning my networks as soon as I power them up.
Scanning your Wi-Fi. And we've got him. And then we've taken over his YouTube account. We've got all his passwords. And
Yeah, talk about knives. There's a YouTube channel that amazes me called this guy called John Grimsmo, and he's got this CNC machining channel, and he's got this entire workshop. All he does is make knives, and these things sell for like $600, $700, $800 a go.
Oh,
It
wow,
just
makes
amazed
sense.
me that they're such a big thing in the US.
It's a
And,
huge
yeah,
collectible thing.
Yeah. But just the amount of precision machining. He's got all these like super Japanese grinding, Kissed by Virgin grinding machines, and but he's got some really interesting CNC stuff. But he's literally got this huge workshop and business and whatever, and all he does is make 2 models of knife.
wow.
It's just
Nice.
amazing.
The niches you can do.
Yeah. You find a niche and.
Yes, Clive wins the
Yep.
shady stuff
Thank you.
competition, yes.
Thank you, JP.
Yes.
Yes, I definitely have the shady stuff.
I do actually have some old footage of where people send in a whole bunch of cheap Chinese mailbag stuff. So I shot all this footage, and I was going to actually consolidate it into one video, all this cheap eBay, AliExpress type stuff. And then I thought, oh no, everyone's just going to think I'm copying BigClive,
Oh,
So
it's good. I like it when multiple channels do a video about the same thing, because every
same
video is
thing at the same
different
time.
and it
Yeah.
covers some different facets. I mean, Dave, you caught me out on the.
Did I?
I looked at the. Yep, you caught me out because I looked at the. I was going to say RDM. That's not it. What's the vehicle diagnostic thing?
OBD.
oh yes, the
OBD. I didn't spot what you did.
ODB or whatever, right?
That prominent pads weren't even connected. I didn't even
Yeah,
spot
they
that
were.
It was just little printed squares underneath with the
Oh,
pads where
that's
it should have
right.
been soldered on.
Yeah, right. I remember that. Yeah.
So then that
Yeah.
made me revisit that video now that I'd actually discovered that
That's
from
it.
you.
Yeah, Scott's got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now,
Yep,
do you
there
know,
we go.
most of those are based on a piece of software written by, now I'm going to have to remember the name of the company. What was that software? Oh, I've conveniently forgotten it right at this point. Okay, let me think about that for a while. Carry on.
Yeah, that was hilarious. And a lot of people don't know is that sometimes we just happen to release a video at the same time or just after each other or something like that happens to be on the same topic or something, and everyone goes, oh, you just copied something. It's like, no, we just happen to have released a video at the same time. It's like, Like I just recently did a Fluke 23 repair. I think it was a Fluke 23, and who was it who done a Fluke 23 video recently? And everyone's saying, "Oh, I just copied somebody who released one the day before," and I had no idea. It was a complete coincidence that we'd both done a Fluke 23 video. I can't remember who it was, but yep.
So somebody just pointed out the company I was thinking of was Elmsoft, who actually wrote the software. And all these products on eBay that you get, these onboard diagnostics, is that right? Yeah, onboard diagnostics. All these units, these little cheat modules, are based on that software because they didn't lock the PIC chip. And like it was just ripped off, absolutely rotten.
There it is.
And they've tried. You've got other versions that they've improved on the software, but they're all just stolen software. But it's an early version. If anything, it did them a lot of good in the sense that it made them famous because everybody knew about Elm software.
Famous but broke.
Famous but broke indeed. I think they closed down during COVID actually, which is a shame.
Speaking of COVID, somebody, thank you, Pixel Squish. Did you hear about the guy stealing wheels off police cars in Sydney? No, I didn't.
Excellent.
Working tirelessly to catch them.
That's a rubbish job. Oh.
Oh dear. Bad joke.
Thank you, Revolt.
A bunch of channels doing the same content works for the retro computing guys. Yes. Yes, the retro computing.
Adrian Black comes to mind.
Like. Who's Adrian Black?
Adrian Black is doing really well. What is Adrian Black's channel? Is it Adrian Black? I'm not sure.
Can't say.
Adrian Black.
Medi, there's a question for Medi. Has Steve Mould paid you that $100 yet?
No, I lost. I lost.
I thought he watched because I watched it and he seemed to concede.
I lost it. And
you conceded.
Well, Steve didn't want the money. He told me to pay to Team C's, the new collaboration.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I paid it forward to Team C's.
I haven't seen the last video yet. I haven't watched it yet. The last one, yours,
Cody
Medi.
Lab just did a video making calcium from bones, and so did Extractin' Fire. Yeah, like sometimes channels just like it's not like we see each other's comment. I can't think of why you do that, to see somebody's content and then go, oh, I'm going to do a video on the same thing.
Yeah, because of course you can make a video in like a day and, with all the experiments and...
it doesn't matter anyway.
Right, exactly.
A whole lot of people that watch one channel don't watch the other channel anyway, so...
Yep, true.
It happens with stuff I'm reviewing sometimes. Yeah, it happens with stuff I'm reviewing sometimes where I'll get something, it turns out somebody else has also offered the same item, and so a couple of channels then do the same review, different aspects of it.
Yeah.
I think that happened with us, Mike, didn't it? With I think it was you who did the copper, measuring the copper, the copper PCB trace or something, or something like that, and people thought.
I think mine was a bit of a follow-up to yours.
Oh, okay. I thought mine was a follow-up to yours or something. I don't know. And then we did a couple of videos each.
Or we both did a thing based off a forum post or something. I can't remember. It was a long time ago.
I think it might have been a forum post or something like that. Yeah, because we're both on the forum. So, yeah.
Was this to do with the current carrying capacity of tracks that have been reinforced with solder?
Yeah.
Or was it just the current carrying capacity?
That's it. Yes, solder-coated tracks. That's what it was. Yeah. If you coat the tracks with solder, how much does it lower the resistance? And it's like 20% or something. It's not a huge works, but it's good enough.
What it will do is it gives them extra thermal mass, because that's quite important, particularly in mains voltage stuff, because otherwise it's like, which is going to blow first, the fuse of the track?
And then, because there's no solder, because then there's no solder mask over the top, that gives it better thermal properties for,
dissipation
as well. So there's something in there. Yeah, you folks are the bomb. Please don't quit over negative comments like William Osman did. Yes,
negative comments. Negative
comments.
You just ignore them.
We've got the edge here because we're old and we've actually been through it all. We know what real jobs are like and so on. So YouTube is a lot easier than that, and there's a big difference. You can at least block the trolls on YouTube when you actually work in a place that you're working with them. It's not so easy to block them.
I just
Yeah,
tease.
I
I don't
speculated
even
it-
bother. I just let them be, and my other viewers take care of the trolls.
Yeah, I speculated this about on the last live stream, how I don't, the comments don't bother me. In fact, I have fun with the trolls, and, it's really, you have to do something really bad for me to ban you. And I speculated, is it my age? Just because I come from, the old school Usenet thing where everyone was a troll and, it's like just so used to it. Is it only the young people who are affected? I don't know how old William Osman is, but I don't know. That was one of my speculations, is maybe I'm more hardened. I don't know, or it's just me.
Yeah,
I don't know. But we all seem to be in agreement that we don't give a shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
We don't actually give a shit. You're right.
yeah. Although I
we
can
give a
do
shit.
understand how how a lot of there are a lot of other YouTubers in there as well, in the video, and they're all saying like a similar thing. How the comments, even though you don't really take them personally, they can stick in your mind, and I can appreciate that. Like I can still remember comments from 10 years ago, that somebody made, or some argument that we had, and it
I
still
can't
doesn't
remember
bother me. But
anything from 10 years ago.
I can remember 10 years ago. I can't remember last week.
Yeah.
Clive trolls them back. Scottish Army ration, radioactive heater, anyone? Or Flanny Flambeau?
Oh, yeah. I think one of the worst trolling videos I put up was the dangerous 100-watt LED explodes, where I was tigging the LED with a soldering iron. And so many people took it seriously, and I was just playing it dumb and saying, "Thank you for advice. I connecting to 12 volts." When people said, "You're not supposed to connect it to 240 volt."
Hang on, I missed some super chats. Sorry. Do the cinnamon coloured caps taste as good as they look?
No.
I don't know what that's.
Oh, sure.
There is this comment, Low Volt Mole is inviting us to Dubai for some reason. The
Yeah,
expo.
I'm trying to find that.
Yeah, like I'm going to go to
see it.
Dubai.
I have to say, I don't really fancy
Oh,
going
here
to
it is.
Dubai, to be honest. It's not in my holiday destination.
Why?
No,
I've
it's
been
not
there
on mine
twice.
either.
Oh no, it just
Oh,
looks.
really? Is that for a stopover, or is that?
No,
for
it was for
an
a
actual visit?
for an actual visit. It's pretty good.
Well, now's the time to visit before it all goes tits up, when all the oil money runs out, and then it just turns
Yeah,
into
yeah.
a wasteland. And so
Well,
Yeah, but they can do solar.
I heard they
right.
don't have oil. Do they have oil? I heard that they don't. They just strive on tourism. If I'm not wrong.
Yep.
It's cheaper to build a
years.
solar plant in the desert than it is to build a gas power station.
Yeah, but then you've got to get the power away from it. It's like, we could, in the center of Australia, we could build the world's biggest solar farm to power the entire planet. But how you actually distribute the power is another thing.
No, but I mean, rather than build gas or oil powered power stations
Oh,
out
right.
there, they're now building solar because they're just cheaper.
Well, I mean, you could distribute power by making the Tesla tower that he wasn't able to
the
make
Tesla tower.
wirelessly transfer power all around the world.
How
Wireless
many
power.
people get emails from Tesla fanboys? As in, not Tesla the car company, but Tesla.
Yeah, you get comments
Fanboys.
from
No,
I
nothing.
have to say, I like
Emails.
Nikolai Tesla, but a lot of his work has been hyped up to the point it's almost become a cult.
Oh,
A lot of the things that
not,
people
not
say
almost, it has. It has
Over
become a cult.
like anti-gravity machines, things like that. He did not invent anti-gravity machines.
No.
Well, yeah,
Induction
I mean-
motor and fluorescent lights.
Yeah, but people like to believe this kind of stuff, like this wireless power transfer. They keep telling me
Oh,
that, hey,
yes.
Tesla did it, and
Yep.
like is
The high
which is more conductive, a wire or air? For the love of God, how can
Well, that depends on the voltage.
Plasma.
And,
yeah.
and efficiency, yeah. And
Plasma's pretty
excitement.
low impedance. The high voltage DC lines, I've actually done a video on that. I've done a video calculating on my second channel, calculating the high voltage, because we're building a solar plant here in the Northern Territory, and it's going to power Singapore, is it, or something? I don't know. It's going to power some other country, and there's going to be a big high voltage DC line going over. So they're installing the solar panels here, and we're going to be exporting the energy to some other country. And I've gone through the calculations on that, and it works. But I think the losses were 10% or something like that. So
Which is low.
you know, it isn't bad. Yeah, it's not too bad.
does
Makes it
mean-
worthwhile.
It does mean scary ass semiconductors for rectifying at the other end, or converting it back to AC, should I say?
Watch out for
That's
some
quite
TV.
scary.
Stack.
Do you want to switch it to your problem?
Tesla trucks on solar roadways. What's everyone's everyone? I think I know everyone's opinion on solar roadways, but what's everyone's opinion on
They're breakable
dreaming.
with water
Electric
ingress.
trucks?
Stupid.
electric trucks?
canals
I
again.
think the numbers don't add up. I think for like really large long haul routes, I don't think it adds up because they add too much weight. You have to have like 10 tons of batteries, and that's 10 tons less cargo that you can carry. So
But in Germany, they're
Not sure it adds.
they're doing trucks with overhead lines.
Yeah, I've seen.
I've
Yeah,
saw that, yeah.
yeah. There's quite a few people who email me wanting to do a video on that.
Yeah, it's
So,
more practical than
yep.
putting in the road, the inductive roadway thing.
Oh, the in the road,
stupid.
that's never going to be a thing. That's never the inductive charging roads and laneways are just stupid.
I
The
mean-
amount of cost to put them in versus the payback is just stupid.
Maybe static inductive charging for like cab ranks and a few other things like that. But
Yeah,
not,
maybe.
not on the roads.
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
Just think about the EMI as well. Amount of interference being generated off it.
Oh, it's pretty low frequency stuff. It's not like
Yeah,
spewing
it's
out.
pretty
the-
short. Inverse square law, I think, takes care of that.
Yeah, it goes pretty quick, but it's just no. It's not
No,
a
it's
thing.
stupid.
I mean, it's just no. The point charging is certainly the way to go. Like depot charging for trucks and buses and taxis and things like that. And as you said, maybe some charging coils under the robo taxi ranks or something like that. Maybe. Who's a believer in self-driving? Who thinks I've famously predicted? Thumbs down. I famously predicted it will be like 20 years or something. It's
You should
like-
see New Zealand roads. It's
some
not going to happen.
circumstances, yeah, it depends a lot. In cities, yes, but outside cities, no.
Google
there's
does
just so
have.
many variables. Has anyone driven in Sydney? Holy fuck!
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
That's the same
no.
everywhere, Dave.
And driven in it during rain and during construction and during it's just not going to happen. Like
There
I think
are.
a robo-taxi would have to have some means where it can call home and have a manual operator remotely deal
They
with
do.
situations.
There is a fleet of taxis. It's the Google self-driving cars are active. They're still about, but they're actually you can actually call in some places a Google taxi. But there's a guy on YouTube and he's got clearly autistic and he's right into it. And he seems to choose from the maps the most awkward places for these vehicles to pick him up and then to go to, so they break down. So
oh, that sounds great. Oh,
when it does break-
I would totally troll that. I would totally do it.
when it does get stuck, it calls, and then you hear the call center and he says, "Oh yes, my vehicle's stuck," and they go, "Oh hi Tom," or whatever his name is, because it's like, "Oh, it's him again."
That's him again. Oh, that's great. Oh,
But what they
hats
do-
off.
Testing it.
They have a
great.
mobile team of technicians who will park behind it with their hazard warning lights on when it decides, no, I can't do anything. And then they'll walk around it as part of the routine, and then they might get into it, and then they'll drive it into a safe place, and then it takes over again. So it's not quite there yet.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, the Tesla self-driving. All these suckers have paid for this full self-driving. It's because it's right in the name, full self-driving, and they think it's a thing. It's a glorified cruise control. I've said, have you seen all those videos of where it screws up? Yes,
Yeah.
there are videos where it actually drove itself from here to there, and it's actually very impressive. But it's just not. Imagine if everyone had one. It's just going to be.
I think it's the last
they're-
few percent gets
Nightmare.
exponentially harder. The last few
Yeah.
percent of cases.
Yes.
Just
Yep. Exactly.
Well, that's why
It's
there's
that
yet another.
5%. Yeah.
Yep, there's yet another YouTube channel, Wham Bam Tesla Cam, because it records all the sort of footage, and it is all the
I've got to look
instants
that
that
up.
involve Teslas.
I've got to look that up. Wham Bam Tesla Cam.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Some of
totally
that's just-
going there.
some of that's
They've all
just
got to
other
look here.
idiots being caught on the dash cam though. The ones I've seen, a lot of it's just other idiots, not the self.
Oh, right,
self-driving
okay.
bits.
I will say though, the self-driving cars, I believe they are safer than humans.
Yeah,
but they're just they have to slow down to a crawl quite a lot because they are being a bit too safe.
I don't know if they are safer than humans. I don't know if you've seen my Tesla video, but sometimes they don't detect stuff.
Yeah.
Like when I got my Tesla,
Sometimes humans don't detect stuff.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's obvious stuff I'm talking about. Like when I bought my Tesla, the first 3 months they gave me the full auto drive for free to try it for 3 months, and then like it couldn't detect the concrete blocks at the end of the road. It was just trying to ram into it.
Oh,
saw
Yeah,
that video, yeah.
right. I've seen that. Yeah,
that would have made a good video.
that's crazy. And
Well, that
when
was a
I
video.
did my
Oh,
electric bus video where I visited the depot where they have all these electric buses, one of them actually pulled up, and it just made the news that morning. It just so happened to pull up right in front of me, and I got footage of it. There's a big ad on the back of the bus, which is a news reader or something like that, and it's this big news reader's face. You know, like you see those ads on the back of the buses, and so it had just made the news that morning that bus had been famously in front of a Tesla, and the Tesla wouldn't go past it because it recognised this giant face like this as a person, and I thought the person was going to walk out in front of the Tesla, so it wouldn't pass the bus.
excellent! So that's a eBay opportunity. Self-adhesive human decals for the back of your vehicle so that
Yes.
Teslas can't overtake you.
Well, I think when self-driving happens more, there's going to be YouTube channels with people trolling it. Like pictures of people just sort of, and all sorts of,
Yeah.
Road signs.
yeah.
Put a road sign up
It
with a
does-
person.
Yeah, well, you
It,
just carry around
makes-
a 20 mile an hour speed limit sign and you just wave it in front of the car so they're trundling along at 20 miles an hour.
Who, as a kid, actually did the trick on a road or a cycleway or something like that, where you'd both stand either side and you'd go like this as you're pulling this rope, but there's nothing there, so you're pulling this, and all the cars would stop because you're going like this as if there's a big rope across.
Yeah, done that.
And you've done it. Yeah, the mind just thinks, holy shit, there must be a rope there because these people are going, I better stop. And these cars all just, every one of them without fail, stop. You know?
Two campaigners tried that on me. They were
good.
wanting to deter people from taking a country road because they just didn't want people driving through their estate, and they did it for real, and they actually pulled a rope across the road, and I just drove through it anyway, and they were all screaming, so that probably wasn't a good thing.
Right. Someone's
Did you get a free rope?
going to do it soon.
I don't know what happened to the rope or them. I just kept driving. Oh no, maybe I shouldn't confess things like that.
Faces on T-shirts mess with facial recognition. Ooh. There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. Civil disobedience. A bit of civil disobedience. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, if you
I'll tell you
walk
what.
down a bus lane wearing a T-shirt with someone else's number plate on it, then they'll get nicked for driving in the bus lane.
That
Oh.
that
I saw
happened
something recently,
recently.
That's
Yeah.
There was something
great.
in the news. Yeah, someone had a T-shirt with looked like a partial number plate, and someone actually got a fine through the post from it.
But people should
Oh,
have
Like, wasn't
T-shirts
quite the
with
same.
real number plates on them.
Yeah,
It looks a bit like a plate, doesn't it? Well, it was like a really close match, but it wasn't actually the plate number. It's very
yeah,
similar.
Yeah,
Wow.
I found that the face recognition systems in airports that are, when you actually go out the airport and then come back in, it takes a picture of your face and it scans it, and you have to look at the laser and all that. It doesn't do beards very well. It never gets my face. When you look at their digital image, it's a nice outline of a face, and then it just goes all fuzzy down below because it's trying to make sense of what the fluffy thing is.
Does anyone
Actually, Mike-
think that in the future there's going to be, how everything's, where all these bloody, vaccine passports and bloody all this digital tracking shit, does everyone think that there's going to be a rebellion where, like, people are just going to go completely off-grid? Like, or they're just going to, like, do spoofy stuff like this to...
Well, some
spoof
people
all?
have done it
Does
already.
everyone-
The
minority.
preppers have gone off-grid.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just kind of like getting sick of it. Like half of me just wants me to, just smash my smartphone. It's like
Yeah,
I
most
just
people
don't,
don't care.
want any
about
part
that.
of this shit. I'm sure there's going to be it's going to reach a point where I'm just going to go, no, I don't want to participate in all this shit. anymore, and I'm just going to give it up. You know.
It's actually a bit funny. About a month or so ago in New Zealand here, they announced at a press briefing from the government about a new COVID system, like the actual tracking of vaccines, like vaccinations. And they announced the website they're going to be using for people to go and check their vaccine records to prove they've been vaccinated, which is all fine. And it was in beta testing mode, and they had the actual developers on the briefing. And whilst they're doing the briefing, I found their website, which was hidden, and logged into it and actually started using their system. Because it wasn't actually very well hidden. And it's still in beta test mode, so I emailed them, gave them some bug reports and stuff like that. So it's quite funny. But that's all public now. It's all out there, but it was quite interesting.
It's not
actually. Sorry, Clive?
Yeah, it's not secure at all. I reckon that if you got someone else's, just a picture of their double vaccination card, the little paper card, you said, "Oh, what's that?" and you took a picture of it, you could then submit that as your own. I don't think they've just cobbled it together so quickly that nothing is secure in that way.
I went to an event recently. There's the thing where you can, like the NHS app, where you do a thing, it shows you a QR code with your name and your status. I went to an event where they said, we're going to check all these. The guy just visually looked at it. So you could just
you
mock something
could
up
just
with your name on
spoof
it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the site is about that the government's built, was that you can actually have an official website, government website, which proves that you are vaccinated because it's got your name and everything on it, and you log into a dedicated account, which is supposed to be restricted to only you seeing it.
We've
fine.
got a digital driver's license thing now, which I don't have. Like, you can put it on your phone now instead of carrying a real driver's license, and and as you tilt your phone, it actually has it simulates the holographic image in it or something like that. You know, so that same as the real card. If you tilt it, it's got the holographic thing in it.
Do you have to carry your driving license with you?
Not. If you're driving, of course, yes, you have to. You can.
we don't.
If you're pulled over and you can't, really, you don't have to carry your. When you're
carry
driving, you don't have to carry your driver's license.
No.
My license
We have
has
to.
got a photo on it.
No, that's
Well, right now,
that
even to
isn't
get into the
offensive.
restaurants, if you want to get into the restaurants, they check our ID to match it to our vaccination records and make sure we can get in. Right now, it is like that here.
Ugh.
Wow.
Yeah, screw that.
Yeah, Kiriori just pointed out that that site's talking about, it's called My COVID Record, is what it's called.
Yeah.
But I got in there when I was still beta testing, it was all hidden.
I did notice they were saying in Glasgow that when you went into McDonald's, they said, "Could you scan the code?" And I was like, "I don't have the software for that." I just took a photo of it, and they just, as long as you pointed your camera at it, they were happy and let you in.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to actually. Yeah,
I felt
they don't check it
guilty
here.
about that.
No.
They don't check it here. As long as you go through the motion of putting your phone up to the barcode and then putting it back into your pocket, that's enough to, they just, yeah. They don't
I also like the fact that they replaced almost all the menus in restaurants with barcodes. So you just scan them on your phone and check the menu on your phone now. You don't.
Oh,
you
no,
don't-
I hate that shit.
it's
Oh,
not
I
bad.
hate it. No, if I'm going to a restaurant, give me a freaking menu, and I'm paying, and I want somebody to serve me. It's like I went to a local burger joint where I'm getting my lunch from after this. They've got that system where like you walk in, you sit down, and they've got they go and like to order. Oh, just use your phone to scan the menu in and order it on your. Come on, like you've walked over to my table, take my order,
No,
please.
we still have the
am I just
servers.
old school? Like,
We still have the servers, but we just get the menus on the phone to look at, so we don't have to touch the menus that a lot of other people touched, I guess.
Oh no, give me the real world. I want the freaking real world. I'm sick of all this shit. Is it just me? Am I just an old grumpy old bastard, or
Yeah,
I think we're all grumpy old bastards.
like the real world?
The only thing we had like that is a lot of restaurants just went to use disposable paper menus.
It's just pandemic times. Hopefully it will go away and we'll get back to our regular menus soon.
No, but this was pre-pandemic. This was, the one I'm talking about. This was pre-pandemic. So.
Oh, okay. That's something else then.
Yeah, it's you're a grump. Yeah, somebody thinks I'm a grump. Yeah, I'm just an old grump. I just hate all this little shit. Like, no,
Mrs. Defpom thinks I'm getting grumpy.
What is it, Dave? I lost a warranty for all my equipment. If you don't power it up, crack it open. Thank you, Low Volt Mo.
Warranties are for wimps.
There we go. Somebody wants the real. Joey wants the real world. Laminated menus. Yep, absolutely.
No, he's saying
I think-
no real world for me.
Oh,
You say
no,
warranties
no
are whims,
real
Mike,
world.
but I think I'd
No,
like my
No,
70
no,
warranty
no,
on my
full stop.
car.
No, I think he's old guy problems. The new world normal. Yes. Eat your bugs and live in your pod. Has everyone?
Has
heard
anyone
that?
seen these things? It's a little circuit board.
Yep.
Now, some of you may know it, because there's people in the chat might know it. I don't know if you can get the thing in focus. So the problem is
There's
C90s.
there's two through-hole socketed dip chips and a bunch of through-hole resistors and some relays, a couple of power trannies, and what else? No,
So this
or are they
is-
voltage regs?
They're transistors. CH012B.
Oh.
Anyone
know it offhand.
figure that what it is? I'll leave it as a mystery for now.
I just found in my archives, I pulled out a whole bunch of boxes from my roof, and pulled out a whole bunch of boxes from my roof, and one of them was the world's transistor comparison table. I'll see if I might have bought it in. I'll see if
I've
I
got
can
some
get
up
it.
here too.
Does anyone still have one?
I've got a few, yeah.
I remember those transistor like cross-reference things. I just do it all online now.
They're all the same anyway. Every transistor works.
Yeah, it's all MOSFETs these days.
It's one of them.
You can
I've got
shove
a few
any
on the shelf.
transistor. Shove anything, it'll probably work.
It might be the same one. I've got 2 volumes of this.
Wow.
I just try and use. Oh, there's
You
a.
guys still read books?
What is your standard transistor? Say, for instance, a standard bipolar transistor. What is your go-to generic transistor?
2N3904.
Yeah, same as
Really?
me.
BC548.
Yes.
No, don't have it.
BC547.
Yeah, BC54789.
Oh, yes.
It's very British.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. He's
Or-
got it.
Is that the same as yours?
The
Up
two
front,
ends.
World's diodes. Okay, yeah, no, mine's older than that.
I've got
but
a few
yeah,
different ones.
it's thick as. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
thick as, and that was the thing to have before the internet. You know, that was like you had to have your world's transistor comparison table. So you
It comes in handy because the stuff in here which you cannot find online.
Oh right, yeah. That doesn't surprise me. Now,
All the obsolete stuff you're talking about?
Yeah, because I tend to fix old stuff. So I'm fixing stuff from the 80s and 90s. So sometimes
Oh, right,
parts
yeah.
aren't online.
Right. How the hell would you compile a table like that? It's like 1,000 pages and it's this thick. And it's like it's just all these substitutes for all these transistors. It's just incredible. Who the hell compiled all that?
Someone
Who
with
makes it?
autism, because they're very good at stuff like that. So who keeps well, 2N6028? Is that a unijunction transistor? I think that is a unijunction.
Is that programmable unijunction?
Don't know the
It's a
one.
programmable unijunction. Why do I even have those? Have I ever used one? Oh yeah, I have. Do you know what I got them for? The old DC Fairground line controllers used them as the trigger pulse for actually stepping through the sequence.
Right.
They used to be really popular in all the old hobby books as a standard oscillator. I seem to remember.
Yeah.
The only
But,
oscillator you can make with one active semiconductor.
is it a relaxation oscillator?
Yeah.
Something like the... Yeah. Pixel Squish says, thank you, Pixel Squish. Do you guys remember the old physical RS
Yes.
catalogues? Did you read them at
Yes.
Twilight?
Yeah.
CPC
Yes.
has introduced new mini catalogues, and yes, I do read it in the Toilet.
Yeah. Well,
That's what-
I can
proper
remember.
catalogue,
Oh yeah.
CPC,
Yeah,
yeah.
there you go. Yeah, Mike's got one. There you go.
Uh-huh.
Let's have a look.
This
Show
what's
us,
this?
Mike.
20. I don't know what date this is.
Oh, that's
You-
very-
2014. 2014.
2014.
The big,
Yep.
Hey, I've not got that
The
one.
big
Oh, that is the old one, yeah.
classic.
I think I might still have a
Oh,
Mackie
man.
catalogue somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
You know you're doing it right if your legs go numb, right? And when you go to wipe your butt, it's all like dry and crusty.
RS catalogue.
That's too much information.
Oh, yep, there it is. RS catalogue. Yep.
Intentional. More rum.
I can actually remember there used to when the new catalogues came out, the RS and the Farnell catalogues back when it was called Farnell here in Australia. At the big company I was at, there's so many engineers. There's 100 plus engineers or whatever, and all of these catalogues they would come on a pallet right? And they would have everyone's name on it, because everyone had, everyone's registered for the catalogue. And then the swarm of people coming in, there'd be fist fights over the catalogues. Who that bastard's left. You would go through and find all the names of the people who've actually left, and you'd steal their catalogue. And it was like, Maplin. There you go. Yeah, there were fights because they were so valuable. They were just so valuable that, and of course you wanted one for your desk, and you wanted one for the lab, and you wanted one for home as well. So you try and steal 3 of them when the big pallet load of them came in, and it was wow.
I didn't have an RS account, but you should go down the trade counter and they'd have a pallet of them in the corner, and you could go and help yourself. So I used to make a pilgrimage to that every time it came out.
Yeah, do you get that thing though, that you go on their online catalogue sites and you look for a component, and no matter what search words you use, you can never find it. You go to the catalogue, there it is. You type in its number and it comes up in their online system. That is annoying. Sometimes a flip through catalogue's better.
The killer feature.
I think the RS system was actually a bit worse than Element 14. I've had the problems with RS being a bit flaky like that sometimes.
It used to be, Element 14 used to be, the online used to be much better than RS, and then I think it swapped or something.
The killer feature on a catalogue is you find a part, but you're looking for something which you know will be within one or 2 pages of that part, and that's something you can't do on a website.
Yep.
So you know that you're looking for something, and you know whatever you're looking for is going to be very close to it, like the connector and the shroud fret and all that sort of stuff.
Ain't Cleverest brought up the subject.
Somebody asked, what was Scott's PCB? I don't think we got an answer, did we?
No, I'm going to keep that as a mystery for the time being.
Oh, okay. Oh, you
But
bastard.
CH012, I'll try and get this thing in shot. Can I get this in shot again? Maybe I'll get the focus, I don't know.
Here we go.
Ain't Big Ain't Cleverest just mentioned
just down there, isn't it?
Dan Bull.
Go on, focus, you bugger.
No.
Oh, CH012B, anyway. See if you can figure it out.
Who used to collect catalogues? Who was the sad ass? Who was the sad sack of
Macklin catalogue?
Who used to collect
That's why I still got a
catalogues?
Macklin catalogue.
Catalogues and data books.
Catalogues and data books. I can do one worse than that. I can. Mike's.
This entire wall, right? That entire wall was data books. Every single.
Same
literally,
here.
plus about
photos.
another 6 feet.
Yep. I've got photos.
You don't
of
need
old,
them,
I'll have to dig them out.
You don't need them anymore.
Yeah,
That's why they're not there anymore.
Shelves and like entire bookcases just filled with all the bloody data books and stuff. But I used to collect Tandy flyers. Every month would get a flyer from Tandy, and I would actually collect the flyers. And I had a massive collection, but I threw it out when I moved. It was just I shouldn't have done that. That was, but I think somebody's like scanned them all in.
About 2,000. I had about 2,000 electronics magazines in the back of a car. They were in the boot of an old car which was parked up on my drive, and I sold the whole lot for £1 on eBay.
Just to get rid of them.
Yep.
Yeah, because I just didn't know where to put them.
Yeah. Have you guys seen that video of mine? The world's largest component collection.
Oh yes,
that's amazing.
Has everyone seen it?
Oh, that's where he's been
shit.
desoldering them and everything. Because
He desoldered them.
Oh.
Like 90% of them were all desoldered components. The guy spent his whole life desoldering components, and for like $50, I scored all of his tins. There's like 300. I got them down on my storage unit. 300 storage tins full of all types of screws. So and he catalogued all this. I've got the spreadsheet and all of the components.
That's very geeky.
That's premium grade autism right there. That is proper autism.
But you got to bow down to it. It's like it's incredible. It's just amazing, and it was all. He knew where everything was. Everything was labelled perfectly. Everything was.
I knew where everything was until about a year ago, and now I'm starting to lose track, and I can't find anything.
That's actually why I built that website of mine. That's my parts bin. That website which I built, because I'm starting to lose track of stuff I've got because I've just got much stuff now.
Yeah, same here. Here's a YouTubing question. Thank you, DDL Smurf. Good name. If there was zero money in YouTube, would you do it anyway? Who would do it less? Who would
Well,
Who would
Yeah.
it with shittier examples? Doesn't apply.
Doesn't apply to BigClive. What? I do
It's not saying
anyway,
already shitty.
I just the hands would be a
It
bit
is in the
grubbier
spreadsheet, yeah.
because they'd be out working more.
So if your YouTube vanished, if your YouTube income all vanished tomorrow, would you still do the same frequency of videos you currently do?
Yep.
Yes,
yeah.
I totally
Well,
would.
I would
I'd
probably
have to-
increase it.
I'd have to find another income stream.
I'd have to get
That is
another
my
job.
only
And,
income stream.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, back when I started in 2009, nobody made a living on YouTube. I think there was maybe 1 or 2 people in the world back then who were sort of like maybe eking a living because there was no monetization. And then you had the partner program. You had to be invited to the partner program. And it's like nobody made money. So you did it just because you loved it.
That's how
whereas
I
now,
started.
Everyone goes into it. Yeah. Just because you loved it. I'm sure all of us did.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then
Because it
you
really
get
wasn't.
your main
No, we wouldn't give
job,
it
and then YouTube is your only income, and then you rely on it.
Yeah.
And then you're lying it. Yeah, that would suck if you lost it. But
that's why I would
I
make.
could lose my
I
income.
wouldn't
and
ever rely on it.
Well,
Yeah, I do.
that's what I'm relying on YouTube and sponsors and things of that sort. So that's why I'm saying I would make more videos because I would need
you
more
would have to
sponsors.
make more. Yeah. Yep.
This
Yes,
is why
it's a
I
very
never swear.
precarious-
I never make crude jokes on my videos because I don't want to lose my channel.
That's right, yeah.
I try. So does anyone have any rules? Like I try not to drop the F-bomb. I think I've done it once or twice maybe, and I'll do it on the live stream. But I generally will not drop. That's kind of my line.
Well, I always bleep it out, and YouTube is fine with it. So I don't
Right.
mind dropping F-bombs here and there as long as I bleep it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try not to swear, but in real life I swear a lot. On YouTube, I try to not do it.
Of course.
Most technical people swear.
Yeah.
It's just a fact of life. If you work on something that's likely to blow up in your face, you kind of take this defensive stance that most technical people I know swear routinely as part of their life.
Yes.
And mostly
It's
I swear
compulsory.
at the electronics, the stuff
Yes.
that will not go right.
Yeah. Because that
Yeah.
way
I-
fixes it.
I had something blow up like last month or something. Like I was shooting and it blew up. It was a power switch mode power supply, and it started smoking and blew up. And I don't know why, but my first reaction was to switch off the camera. Like you idiot!
No,
You
yeah.
The
idiot!
last thing, the magic smoke. You gotta get the magic smoke.
But yeah, so I did manage to pull out the very last frame before I hit stop, and that became my thumbnail because it had the flames were starting to come out. I don't know what possessed me to reflex press stop. Like, you idiot!
I know what it is.
I always, as a matter
I
of
know what
course,
that
I
is.
always. Sorry, Julian, you go ahead.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, Dave, because it's exactly the same thing happened to me the other day. And in fact, it was something that was sent to me free of charge, and I just blew it up. And the camera was running, and it's when you stop speaking and you think, I've got nothing more to say, your automatic reaction
You
is to
switch the
stop
camera off. Yep. Yep.
I, as a matter
Yeah,
of course, when I'm doing
because
repair
the-
stuff,
Yeah.
is that I actually make sure I'm filming the video when I power it up, and for the first hour of usage, I'm recording because that's usually when the magic smoke comes out.
an hour.
Somebody asked.
I don't think my camera would run for an
kind
hour.
of. Somebody asked, "What kind of beer are you having, BigClive?"
It's not beer. It's rum and cream soda. This
Rum
is
and
where
cream
it gets a
soda.
bit complex because in the UK it's vanilla flavored soda, and for some reason they call it American cream soda, and the Americans are all like, "What?" Because like, what's cream soda?
I do associate cream soda with Americans. Maybe it's like old 80s, 70s, 80s TV shows or something. Maybe.
I think
But
the
yeah,
only
cream
people
soda
who
is an American thing.
I
I
don't
thought.
think the only people who don't associate American cream soda with America are the Americans. I think it's just a marketing ply.
Yeah, it is probably because around here, like in coffee shops, they sell a drink called London Fog. I went to
heard of
UK once and I told them, "Hey, do you have London Fog?" And they said, "What is a London
Never
Fog?"
heard of it.
Yeah, and nobody heard of that. So it's just
One had a reefer cap blow up on a live stream.
So have you, Dave, haven't you? You had one go once.
Did I? Probably. I don't know if it was a live stream, but I was recording video.
It was a
I've
couple
had
of years ago, I think. Yeah, one go.
I'm sure I've had a reefer cap. Yeah, it was old dumpster stuff. It was, I think, Schaffner. I think it was some
Yeah.
old Schaffner AC line impulse tester or something. And
I've
yeah,
had
I
both.
think
I've had the filters
reefers
go,
actually
and I've had the
are.
reefers blow up on stream on
Yep.
either YouTube and recording. So
Yeah,
got 'em both
I
go.
think I labelled that video Reefer Madness. Reefer Madness. If anyone remembers, like, was it from the 1960s, the Reefer Madness movie? It was like this, like, I think it was a propaganda movie or something about how bad, drugs were or whatever. These reefers would make you mad or something. And it was, I don't know. I don't think anyone got that. I don't think very few people got what the title was about.
No,
Reefer
I think a
Madness.
few people. The older
Maybe a
people
few,
amongst us
but
might
yeah,
got that.
not many. So,
Don't
I
know.
have to say I didn't know.
all right, there you go.
Don't know if you guys
Tantalum
get the same
capacitors.
thing.
Yep.
Yeah. But if you're about to do something dangerous and you just get the feeling it's going to blow up, starting the camera gives you extra confidence because all your YouTube posse is with you for the moment.
Yes, totally.
You have to at
yeah,
least catch it,
tantalum.
don't you? You have to at least catch the thing going wrong.
Yeah.
Who's had
My
tantalum
worst-
caps blow up? The old tag tants, the old tag tantalums.
My worst
Not on
instance
camera.
of
Anyone had them catch on fire?
no.
What's a tag
I've
tantalum?
Oh,
seen
good
some
gear.
tantalums
Oh.
on fire before.
Tag
I've repaired
tants
gear
are
with it, but never
notorious
actually
for-
caught it.
Right. Okay. I don't know if I've caught one on camera or not, but I've found a few that have been flamed out. So yeah, the old tag tants were famous for it.
What is a tag tantalum?
It's a 2-pin tantalum. It's like a bulbous tantalum. It's like a Scott's
I
got
just
one.
never heard it
Someone's
called
going
that.
after one. Yeah, well, that's what we call them here. I don't know if that's an Australian thing or not.
Tantalum
Are they
bead.
called tag
just-
I
tants?
just call them.
Oh, stick the earphones back in again so I
is
can hear.
probably about it. Just the classic
Yeah,
tantalum
bead
capacitor.
tantalum or
Yeah.
resin.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yep, that's it.
Which seems to
I
have
call
Keep a
those
stock of them, of
tag
course.
tants.
Yep, which
Okay.
seems to have
Is it-
unfeasibly high
It's back.
capacitance for its size.
Yes.
Until modern
And,
ceramics came along.
Okay, so maybe that's an Australian industry term because everyone calls them tag tants. here.
I've never had
So,
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, their
There
new
you go.
replacement is multi-layer ceramic capacitors, which have
Yeah.
all the same problems.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
crack
yes,
instead
they're
and short out.
Less,
Yeah.
less
Yeah.
smoke though.
Cracking, yeah.
Yeah, I
mhm.
know. Yeah, isn't it fun? Yep. Although I did have one blow up on my stream. I did have one blow up on my camera. It was that company who makes all the new little cute switch mode power supplies.
Is
They
it-
keep sending them to everyone.
Rui Deng.
Those
Rudang.
little with the nice user interface front panels and stuff.
Where the
Rui
huge
Deng.
solder joints and that tiny little capacitor in between, which was obviously, as the
that's
solder
it.
cooled down, it was going
Yeah.
to split the thing in half.
It was going to split it, yeah, and it just split it. And then when you powered it on, it just blew up. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yep. Oops. Thermal and mechanical problem right there. It's yep. Nasty. You can actually get. I've done a video on this. You can get multi-layer ceramic capacitors with flexible end caps on them. So they're used in the automotive market and stuff like that. So
okay.
any flex in the board will be
Stress.
taken out of the stress. The stress
Okay.
won't be translated into the multi-layer ceramic. It'll
What
actually.
size is that?
and
Makes
you can get
sense.
these-
sense.
What is
Yeah,
that question? Clive Flynn. Art installation at Heathrow Airport?
Yeah.
What?
Well, just one of us,
Yep.
Mike. Mike's
Yeah.
electric stuff.
Mike is
Oh,
the
yeah, I remember.
is the
Actually,
art
two.
installation
I've
specialist.
done 2 at Heathrow actually.
Yeah. So is that still that's like almost 100%
still
of
there.
your business, isn't it? Is
Yeah,
that
pretty
like
much.
doing art stuff?
Yeah.
Designer
it's,
stuff.
It's the Venn diagram of lighting, design, art, and architecture. So most of it just sits somewhere within that.
Right.
A niche market.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm very much now. It's one of those industries where all the various studios, they know each other. Like, people leave one to join the other, and I've just got a reputation as the go-to guy these days. If they can't do it
Most
off the shelf
expensive
electronics,
component.
they call me.
Oh, that's complicated. What's the most expensive? Are we talking just in this cabinet here?
Oh.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah, define expensive though. How much you paid for it? How much it's worth? How much how much it would have cost if I
mean,
bought it new? It's not a simple question.
I don't know if the microcontrollers I've got troops of microcontrollers.
I don't have my IBM processor. It's down in my storage unit. But yeah, that was a $250,000 processor. I've done several
see.
videos on it.
It's going to be hard to beat that.
Wow.
Just
Yeah,
generally-
what
I've got a massive
US
CCD sensor. Let me have a look.
I just have a bunch of resistors and capacitors, nothing special.
to blow up.
Yeah.
It's just going to be like the higher value capacitors is the only thing that comes to mind here.
Now, what I've got here, I purchased them at a reasonable cost at the time, but apparently they're worth a bit more money now.
Oh, right. Is that the one I showed on the recent thing? That
I don't
cost
think
like
so.
$5,000 or
If I
something?
can get the thing to focus, it'd be great. Anyway, it's a
RF.
SRF 3775 as an RF transistor.
Ah, right.
But I purchased them
How
for a
much do you
reasonable
reckon?
cost about, I don't know,
Right.
8 years ago or something, and now they're worth about 300 or 400.
Yeah, this is a CCD sensor, about an inch square. So that was probably 5 figures when it was new.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yep.
That is quite special.
Yeah.
And now it's just
Wow.
like trash in a drawer, isn't it,
It's
these days?
trash, yeah.
Now I need to see if I can find one of those 7 out of 5 and the TR3 packages you were looking at yesterday.
I've got a few.
I've got some up there, and I've got some.
Now, Bit Bastilize says Electroboom's most expensive thing it's probably his electricity bill. Well, no, because it's
No, exactly.
brief peaks of power and they average out quite low.
That's right, yeah.
And he bypasses his meter.
There's quite a bit of debate at the moment. Mike, I think you chimed in on this. I just got a 32 amp socket installed in my garage for my new EV charger, and it uses 4 mil copper, 4 square millimeter copper, and you're saying that's not enough.
Well, mine use
For a
6.
32 amp.
Mine's 6 mil, and it gets. You can feel it's not hot. You
feel
can feel
warm.
it getting noticeable warm.
4 millimeters.
So,
Only kind of rated to 28 amps, I think.
yeah, that's going to
Typically.
get
Right,
really
well,
warm. Get the film camera out.
I did do the calculations, and it was 87 milliohms for 20 meters, and it would lose 4.5 watts per meter, whereas
Yeah.
a 6 millimeter cable for the same that would be dissipating 2.8 watts per meter or something.
Is that allowed for
So-
both conductors or the single conductor?
Oh, good point. Good point. That's a no. That'd be single. That'd be a single. Yeah, you're right. Good point. Yes, because current's got to flow in both directions.
Yeah.
So yes, it would double that power. Wow. So that's going to be 8 watts per meter. If I draw the 32 amps, which I don't, I think my maximum will be about 28. But apparently that meets the Australian code. So I've read on the internet.
Australia. It's good enough, Australia.
Good enough for Australia. Yeah.
Australia's so hot as well. Jeez.
Yeah. It
It's
is.
like here
yeah.
you can uprate your cables because it's so cold that they've got ice on
Right.
them all the time anyway.
Yeah, well, I didn't think about it. I just got the, because we had an electrician there to do some other work because we're getting the garage remodeled and stuff. So he was doing stuff, and I said, "Oh, can you install a 32 amp power point?" Yeah, no worries, and and I got 4 mil copper. So I don't know if I got ripped off or not. And then I checked online, and there's a lot of there's like a forum for electricians and whatnot. They go, nah, 4 mil's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
I know
Those
over
are
here
the
in New
standard.
Zealand, ovens and stuff which are on a 32 amp circuit, they're using 6 mil over here.
6
But
mil.
also,
Okay.
Darren, the codes are probably written assuming it's not going to be running 100% of the time. Even an oven's going to be
Yes.
thermostating on and off. So EV is a bit different because it's like 8 hours solid.
Right.
I mean, you wouldn't even use a 32 amp breaker. You'd use a 40 amp just because the breaker itself
Mine
would be marginal.
mine is a 32 amp breaker. It's
Yeah.
a 32 amp breaker. So anyway, it was installed by a licensed electrician who
Yeah.
seemed pretty good.
the-
So I guess they do know the code. And
Like the
and
one that did your
I have
aircon.
right, the one who did the aircon. No, different one. Oh shit! Yeah,
choice.
that was bad.
Yes.
Yeah, that was bad. But technically that met the standard as well. They actually broke into my PowerPoint. They actually snipped my PowerPoint. If you haven't seen it, they cut in. They were installing an aircon out in my new back room, and they, instead of like installing a dedicated line for it, they just snipped into the PowerPoint wiring and installed it into the existing PowerPoint wiring. But apparently that is the code actually allows for that. So I couldn't so I couldn't get them on that, but I got them on the fact that they didn't install a dedicated, but it needed a dedicated circuit breaker for it, so they had to install that. And then I got them for the dodgy wiring too. That they just taped it up They just take up the wire and just left it dangling. So I got them on that, and they came back and they installed a dedicated run with a circuit breaker. But but technically it met the code. So I don't know. I guess this 4mm copper also meets the code as well. But it's
do a measurement, see how hot it gets.
time.
I bet you'll be able to feel it. It won't catch fire, but you'll be able to feel it.
Right. Oh,
Have you got a thermal camera?
I'm sure I'll be able to feel it. Yeah, I've got a thermal camera, so I'll just go up on the roof when I get my EV charger. Although my regular 2.2 kilowatt charger, like the slow charger, you can feel the connector get hot. You can feel it get warm. I believe they've got a temperature sensor in there as well that goes back to the controller. And if the physical connector gets too hot, then it switches off.
Yeah, on DC, I think they have sensors on both sides. And
on both ends, right.
Anything over about 50 kilowatts, the cable's liquid cooled as well.
Yes,
and there's actually there's two. The one I've seen, there's two cooling channels. One goes straight to the contacts, and the other one is used to cool the cable itself.
Oh,
so two flow and one return.
Lines.
Yeah.
Wow. Yes, because when you plug in your car, you can actually hear the pumps going. You can hear the pumps pumping the fluid, and you can feel it. They kind of, you can feel the vibration in the cable.
And when you think that the bigger charge of 350 kilowatts at 800 volts, you do need that cooling.
Wow. Yeah.
That's,
all right. So I've been diddled on my 4mm copper. I feel
that's something I'm looking forward
inadequate.
to. Tesla's 1 megawatt chargers for their Tesla delivery trucks. I just can't wait for the video footage of them blowing up.
Yeah,
bad enough. You're going to get some office worker with a crushed power plug plugging it into a power. I hope they put CCTV and all these things. I just can't wait to see them blowing up.
I've yet to hear any report of any DC fast charger having any sort of incident. Based on the cable
I've not heard it. In the Isle of Man, we had a problem. They installed the chargers for the electric vehicles because they're really popular here because it works well here because you can't go out of range because the Isle of Man is quite small. But the biggest problem they had is old people reversing over the charging pillars. So they actually had to put metal barriers to stop them driving over the top of them.
Oops. Steve, the engine nerd, says, how do I get into the secret squirrel group? I don't know. Sorry, I don't know, Steve, the engine nerd.
We have no
I don't know either.
Do we? Is someone trying to break some?
It's like getting into
someone
the
trying
Masons.
to scam us.
It sounds cliquish, doesn't it? Now, Jordan Johnson says, thoughts on selling homemade electronics is a waste of time? Well, not necessarily, because Mouse is selling these little flashy supercomputer badges. You may have noticed this sparkling and doing its supercomputer stuff. He's selling them on Etsy.
My own.
Sell kits, don't sell finished products.
Well, the kits, it's a lot cheaper and easier to sell the kits. But
well, you don't need CE markings on kits. You do on finished products.
Yes, and of course that would affect the lead solder situation, things like that. But this, the hex pewters have been made by Evolution, and he's selling them as kits on Etsy as well. So there is a market for niche specialist products. It is viable, but I wouldn't say don't make it your main income. Make it a little secondary background income because it all adds up.
Make it a side hustle and stick to kits.
Yeah. There's a guy that sells Z80 computer kits, RC 2014. He is making a full-time living selling Z80 computer kits.
Really?
Z80?
Yeah.
I've got one of those.
For the last 2 or 3
years.
years.
A full-time living.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Does everybody have their Z80 book by Rodney Zacks, Programming the Z80?
Yeah. I think I've got a 65502 one somewhere.
Arc Flash.
Has anyone ever had an Arc Flash experience?
Honeywell Sport.
Yes, sort of.
With welding.
But a bit of an unconventional one.
You tell yours first then. Mine was loud.
Yeah, a while ago I built a thing called the Destructotron, which was basically 8 defibrillator capacitors. Something like 220 microfarads at 2.5 kV.
Was this involving your fluorescent fitting?
Yes, and I hadn't used it for quite a while. I decided I did a video tearing down just a domestic circuit breaker. I thought, well, okay, what happens if this gets grossly overloaded? So about probably maybe a kilojoule or so later, I was wearing safety glasses, but I did find a few bits of the copper wire embedded in the wooden beam above it on the ceiling. So that was a bit of a near miss.
Someone wants me to cook a hot dog with a Tesla coil. What is it?
I don't know how you do that.
I've just actually put up a video. 2 electrified forks. Hold on, where's my electric fork?
Corned beef.
No,
Corned
corned beef.
beef.
I haven't watched that yet. Yeah,
It's not probably electrically compliant.
it's not dangerous at all.
Quite dangerous, yeah. I do put disclaimers on it.
I'm sure you could sell that on AliExpress.
Absolutely. So
Yeah,
my
actually, I've
worst,
got a can of canned beef in the cupboard. I'll keep forgetting about that.
yeah, my worst experience was I was working with Hussman Refrigeration at the time, doing industrial refrigeration in supermarkets and like storage complexes, and we'd taken over a contract from someone else, and it was just going around checking all the equipment, and the supermarket refrigeration systems, they have the old cam switches in them, some of the old ones, and it sequences the defrost times. And you know the traditional ones, it's the rotating plastic cams and it pushes micro switches in. Well, this one wasn't. I just thought it was the standard system. It looked like it, with the micro switches just pressing against the cams. It turned out it was a super cheap version, and it was bare electrical contacts. And I got my screwdriver, and just routinely, as you do, to initiate a defrost, all you do is just push one of those micro switches in. And all the control systems were across the 3 phases at 415 volts. And I just took the screwdriver, poised it on the earth metal bar in front, and poked the switch. And it caused an avalanche effect. The whole thing just went... It's just a wall of flame. And you know that thing when something's blowing up in your face and you're like just blinking, waiting for your eyesight to come back. And up to that point, all the compressors were going... And it was just like silence. Just that slight whistling noise and the vision lost. And then it was, as it all returned, it was like, panic, get it all back on. And every single control circuit had tripped. So I put them all on. It was like the relief of all the compressors starting again in sequence. And I went back and looked at it. And you could see where I touched it, there's a big skid mark out the metal. But next to it, you could see where everybody before me had done exactly the same thing. I had loads of skid marks along it. And I warned my co-workers, I said, oh, right, guys, come over here, take a look at this. And they told me afterwards that even though I'd told them, they still did it. Because they were so used to poking those switches in. That was great. It was horrible. But great.
Somebody,
well, guys, sorry, I have
said,
to leave now.
Oh,
It's end of my tour.
No worries.
Fun being around.
Thanks, Mehdi.
Okay.
Oh, it has
Really
been
good
2
time.
hours. Holy crap. We've passed the YouTube limit where it's got to process it. Because if it's under 2 hours,
I don't really think that's
it
an
doesn't have
issue.
to
I mean,
process it.
I guess
Oh,
I'll
no,
see you
I-
later.
Oh, no,
stream.
no, it just takes an extra day to add the, or it used to. I don't know.
I don't have any problems with mine. I stream usually for like 4 hours or so. It's
It
usually
doesn't
okay,
take
right.
that long,
Okay,
but
they've
it doesn't
changed it.
happen instantly. But sometimes it shows you a section of the
Mehdi.
video.
Take care.
First.
Bye.
Yeah, man.
Bye,
Thanks,
Mehdi.
Yeah.
ZX Renew said, did you guys see the UK YouTuber whose house burned down a few weeks ago? Mark fixes
No.
stuff.
I wonder what
don't
caused.
know.
I wonder what caused the fire.
I don't know.
Do you?
Charger, I think.
Oh, right.
Do you
Wow.
ever have feelings that all these products with lithium batteries in them, that they could just randomly fail? And you
Yes.
think,
Yeah,
how
it's
many
damn, yeah.
items do you have in your house that
I
have
know.
that?
Countless. And all these cheap Chinesium switch mode power supplies, you know, chargers and whatnot that are, I don't know how many things I've got plugged in. Like any one of them could, like,
Yeah.
you know, start smoking. It's like, it's just a, yeah.
I tend to recommend for the things that plug in, the power supplies that plug in, I recommend that people, instead of plugging them directly into the wall, in the case of the UK, that's a 32 amps at 240 volts, so it's quite a lot of power. And they usually just go bang and, you know, the lid blows off and it's just you're left with a charred mess, as demonstrated by Electroboom when he wrapped the wire around the British plug and plugged it into the wall. Did you see that? That was great.
Yeah.
But,
It was in a hotel, wasn't it?
it was, yeah. So you just wipe down in the change room, yes. But I recommend plug it into an adapter because then you can put a 3 amp fuse in, or even a 13 amp fuse, and it's going to lessen the damage. But,
Assuming the adapter's one of the ones that's got fuses in it, which a lot of them don't.
or the glass.
Over here in New Zealand, a lot of the plugs are not fused. So it's just a plug straight into a circuit. There's no fusing on it.
Yeah.
But what's
we
the
don't have
current in
any
your
fuses
circuits?
here.
It's 20 amp radial?
Yeah.
Is it?
Ours,
Well, it's 10 amps for
general
PowerPoint,
PowerPoint
but-
circuit here is a 16 amp. We have a 16 amp breaker.
How safe is this? This is my new electric hot water bottle with a main
No.
socket on the side of it.
Is that the one? Is it from China? Is it an eBay
yeah.
special?
Can we plug
It's
that
an
up?
Amazon
Let's have a look.
special.
Because
Okay.
I've got one of those, and it's just 2 graphite electrodes inside, and it heats the water by passing the current through it. And as it
It's
heats
just
up, it
2
makes a loud.
pins,
It just makes a loud
Oh, they-
buzzing
oh,
50 hertz
okay.
noise.
and it's got like jelly in it or something.
Oh right, okay,
Well,
so it's not.
What connects to those pins? Is it an IEC or something different?
Oh, I'll show you that. It's oh bloody hell! It's that, which then
right,
goes
okay.
down to that, which then goes to that.
Oh, different data.
Great. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, that's illegal in the UK.
Crappy stuff.
Everyone needs def adapters.
Yeah, that's not a proper
Oh,
def
those.
adapter,
Yeah,
but-
I think I've got 1 or 2 of those under here right now.
No, this is quite.
Oh,
This
come
is
in
quite
handy.
safe, I think.
yeah.
That's pretty safe.
Yeah, they're handy.
But supplying the 2 pins actually illegal in the UK. It's got to be one of those snap together ones that permanently
Yeah.
converts it.
Yeah, it looks illegal, but I mean, this is the crap you get on Amazon.co.uk.
Yeah. Is that adapter fused? That shaver adapter, is that fused?
No,
No.
no. But I love it. It's lovely and warm. And I got another one, a
Simon's
fluffy
asking-
blue one as well, which has this one has 3 pins.
Oh, fancy
That's
fancy.
ultra
Cleverly.
safe. Yeah, but it's
Here's mine.
it's not standard. It's a
Yeah.
odd.
It's not
Oh, you got one
Cleverly's
as
one.
well.
This one has the electrodes in the liquid. It's just water inside. It comes dry with a little pinch of salt or something in it, and you fill it up through this little rubber bung with tap water, and it's an electrode heater. So if I plug this non-compliant 2-pin plug into this slightly exploded death adapter, you can actually hear, once it warms up, you'll actually hear it buzzing at 50 hertz.
Oh,
And does
lovely.
it bubble? Does it bubble and then fatten up?
It
And then
does.
When it fattens up, there's a micro switch in the plug.
No, it's not the one in the micro switch in this sort of thing. It's actually got a thermal cutout inside, but this LED is literally just a resistor and a red LED in series across that circuit. I shall leave this here. I shall
Is this
shake it. It's
one?
quite nice, actually.
If you put me back on, I'll show you this one.
Oh, I've
this
seen
one-
that. Yeah.
That looks like a
If the
staple.
bottle
What the
leaks-
hell?
Well, there's a micro switch. If the bottle gets too fat, it turns off because
Uh-huh.
the micro switch opens. But also, if the bottle leaks, it turns off the other way as well. So it has to be exactly in the
Okay.
middle for
Oh,
the
okay.
electricity to go through.
Excellent.
It's
Kinda
genius.
clever, I guess.
This one you can put your hands into it like a muff.
Yeah, like a muff.
Well, fucking muff. That's what I'm
Because it's
talking about.
bloody
What is a
cold here.
muff? What is a muff? Because muff
A
means
muff.
something different here in
Yeah,
Australia.
let me something completely different here.
Oh,
That's a muff.
does it?
Yes. You go muff diving. Let's just put it that way. You go.
Well,
What?
yeah.
What's muff diving, Dave? Tell us what muff diving is.
It's not for you, Clive.
No, it's not.
I get tangled up
No sex for me.
like dog crew.
Oh boy. I love this comment. BigClive is simultaneously the most dangerous and the safest YouTuber.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's RCD protected, my dangerous
Muff.
heated muff, yes. Fluffy
Someone
muff.
says that's a
Something mine
sex
is.
toy for a sadist.
A sadist or a sadist?
Don't know. Oh,
It has been suggested that to cause controversial, controversy in my neighbourhood, if I do get the new workshop, I should put a shelf inside with a big row of Bad Dragon sex toys on it. So I think that's a good idea. And a room
window.
next to it marked, and a room next to it marked changing room, so they can try
'Cause
them out.
hasn't your building got shop windows? It's effectively a shop front.
It does have a shop front. It used to be a tile centre. They used to sell tiles and stuff like that. But some of the windows are fake. You'll notice some of them are diffused because they added the lift at a later date, so they've got diffused windows. So they are getting lit with LED.
You can put all your AliExpress leftovers in the window.
Yeah,
could
it's
just-
for sales.
You could resell them.
I think we can safely say that the windows are going to fill up with shite anyway, because that's what happens. Any horizontal surface.
someone said they found a council cleanup power board that had brass bus bars in it instead of copper. I didn't know you could use brass for
Yeah.
bus
about-
bars. Yeah, brass is a... Yeah,
From
yeah.
memory,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
about a
I guess,
third.
in the back of
pins of brass.
switches is a brass thing. Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
But most,
3 or 4 times.
yeah, extension
copper.
sockets are brass.
Yeah.
You could
it's
use
cheaper.
aluminium.
What's the conductance of brass versus copper?
It's about
Does anyone
3
know
to 4
offhand?
times. About 3 to 4
3 to 4?
times. Yeah.
Right. There you go.
I've used it a few times where we want like a suspension wire. Stainless is too resistive, copper is too stretchy, but brass is a good compromise.
Nice. We can still hear the birds in the background. For those who
We
came
can,
late to the
indeed.
stream, that's
'Cause it's-
Scott.
I can open the windows
Yeah,
if you like.
The birds have gone to sleep here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fireworks are
They're-
stopped out here.
They're
I
all
don't have
dead
birds,
because of the
I don't-
5G.
I am stuck in the middle of a gigantic office building here. I don't even have windows. It's like straight in front of me. This wall is a corridor. Straight out that door, there's a corridor. It's
you-
one big circular corridor, and I'm stuck in the middle.
So you
It's
don't
like,
even know what time
you
of
know.
day it is.
No,
Well-
no, I got no clue.
Well,
What's happening outside
To
whatsoever.
be honest, when you're a YouTuber, it doesn't matter what time of day it is because it's all the same anyway.
Yeah. What hours do people work a day?
As few
I
as
go to-
possible.
I'm typically after I drop the kids off, so that'll be 9 a.m. I'll get to the lab at 9. I'll go home at 7. But then I'll spend more time on the, doing.
I do about
doing
11
whatever at
a.m.
home,
to
but
4 p.m.
Yeah,
Oh.
about 10 till 7.
10 till 7. Yeah.
I kind of been getting up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and getting to bed at 6 a.m., which is not terribly good. But I'm typically getting about between 6 and 8 hours sleep a night, but the rest is just basically YouTube-y stuff. Yeah.
There are no
I'm
fireworks
basically
here now.
spare time,
all gone
so
quiet.
mine's basically spare time stuff. So I work full time as well, normally. Well, right now we've got lockdown, so I've been to work for nearly 3 months. But so normally I'm working full time and just trying to do this YouTube stuff in my spare time, cram as much in as I possibly can.
Someone asked I should put a camera outside and put a large monitor inside. I actually looked at doing that. I was actually experimenting to see if a camera could get from the foyer, like the lift foyer on this floor, into my Wi-Fi here. So I put like a little Wi-Fi camera out there. I hid it behind a pillar kind of thing. There's actually a PowerPoint there for cleaners to use or whatever. So I plugged in this camera and I had it there for like a day or two, and I came back I got out of the lift one day, and there's this note on the camera that says, "F off, you bastard, don't let me catch you putting a camera here again, you fucking," And it was like, I don't know, they thought I was like spying on them. Like, it was actually facing outside, but I guess like part of it, like the building's not a complete square. So it sort of it wasn't facing the building, but I guess they thought I was spying on them through the window or something. I don't know. Anyway, somebody got,
Upset.
tad upset. Yes. So no, I can't really. It's not like I can go up on the roof and just install something and drop a cable down or open
Just
the
put
window.
high vis jacket on. No one will ask any questions.
Yeah, high vis. Yeah, that's it.
High-vis works for everything.
Yeah, you get into anything. High vis jacket's what you need.
Oh yeah, but I can't physically. I can't physically get the signal back down here. It's like
Cable out the window down the
cable out the window
service,
down the side. I
sure
can
you must
remember
have some
doing that at
risers.
Altium. I can remember doing that at Altium. I had to get GPS reception or something because I was developing a GPS board, and the huge Altium building you've probably seen in my April Fool's video, and I was like, and I didn't have a window, so I had to run a cable up through the roof and then out through my manager's window, and so drop down into his office, then out his window, and then dangle it down the side of the building, and it was there for a couple of days, and I was getting great reception, everything was working fine, and then one time I was ordered to take it down because one of the directors had actually driven in and didn't like the fact that there was this cable hanging down the side of the building. And hell broke loose. Who the hell installed this cable? And, it's like...
Just put it in some conduit, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Drop it in some conduit.
But yeah, it's one of those like fancy buildings that looks really schmick,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Scott, are you originally from the UK?
Yeah, I grew up in London.
Okay, yeah, because I just noticed a hint of London accent in your voice.
Yeah, my accent's pretty messed up, really.
What part of London?
It's mostly local, but there just was a hint of London in there.
I grew up in Sidcup, and then I moved out to Northern Kent, a place called Whitstable, years ago. I've been here for a long time now.
Okay. Yeah.
So a weird mix of fish and chops and UK.
Bit of London
Well,
accent, a bit of North Kent. Yeah, that's it.
And what's the Defpom? What's the DEF? It's obviously not DEAF.
Yeah, well, Defpom, because it could, it just fitted better in the circumstances I was using it in. So it came about when I was doing car audio 20 odd years ago. I had a competitive car audio, and I did shows and stuff like that. And it's about high quality, not volume. And it came about from that as my nickname.
But what does
where
it
they try
stand
to blow
for?
the windows
DE?
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to have hatchback, and the hatch actually flapped like that.
Yep. Doof. Yeah, they
But it was high quality. It sounded mint, but it wasn't just loud. It actually sounded really nice. You could actually sit in this front of the car, and you could actually have your eyes shut and listen to a CD or whatever, CDs back then, and you could visualise the placement on the stage of all the instruments and the people and the performers. So you could imagine it in your head. You could actually place it. So it's about high quality, not just being loud.
Yeah, that
On my
about
electric
the
car, when I get an electric car, I want to have a sound system that plays to the outside that can either be a big V8 or it could be a little 50cc Gilera.
Yeah.
Moped. You want a moped? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine has the wimpiest noise. Like it's got one of these noise emitter things that's supposed to emit noise so you don't run people over, so they can hear your car coming. It's the wimpiest little pissant soft sound you've ever heard in your life. It's useless. I actually drive up to people and actually, they just don't hear me coming. And it's got this thing that emits.
Listen to Focal.
That is what's in your car. That's my Ionic
that
module. There's a spy flash chip in there that's got uncompressed audio data in there. Off you go.
Hack it.
There you go. Hack it. Oh, nice.
I thought they were supposed to make spaceship noises.
Yeah. That's Tesla does the spaceship.
They use some sort of like panel emitter or something, don't they? It isn't like a regular speaker,
No,
is
it's
it?
just a box standard speaker.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. I thought it was
Mylar, though, not
part of the
paper.
grill or something.
Yeah, probably.
Right.
Can you guys hear my hot water bottle yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fizzing.
Oh, yeah.
It's bubbling.
Wow.
Yeah, it's 50 hertz heating.
Simon A is asked in the comments here about will I compensate for the drive position being non-central, and the answer is yes, because you use digital time alignment to adjust the timing.
There.
So that is the driver for the speaker.
Yeah, so just spy flash there, audio amp.
Right.
There's actually a Yamaha sound processor, which I don't think they really use much. It doesn't really seem to do much with it. And if you just the spy flash data, you stick in an audio editor, it just plays straight away. There's about
So I could have my 50cc Gilera then.
Yeah, probably.
It's some sort of like rumble sound. It's like it's really weird. I've been meaning to try and capture it and.
Oh, I want one that goes.
Yeah, it sounds like at first I didn't know whether or not that's the motor noise or whether or not it's the sound system, and it's like got this like. Zzz, it's like really useless, and it doesn't work. People can't hear it. It's absolutely useless. I sneak up on people and run them over.
Yep. It's so complicated looking. Really, I would have thought it would be like a 555 or something like that with just a transistor going woo 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 woo, just like spaceships. That's what we were told they were going to sound like.
Jetsons, yeah.
Sounds like someone's hungry.
Yeah. You can tell when it's going to cut off because it just gets louder and louder and makes buzzier noises.
That's insane. Yeah, you're definitely going to have to do a video on that, Mike.
Yeah.
I've done a video on this. I took it apart and showed the electrodes in it.
Oh, no.
Mike. Oh, right, okay. Mike.
For
The sound generator.
Yeah, the sound
Yeah, it's just like,
Data.
you think, couldn't they just use simple circuitry instead of using microprocessors and sound processors?
No, because they've got to get some designer to design the sound.
Wank, you know.
And my cone is quite like a sort of ethereal, sort of multi-voice sort of tone thing going on.
Don't they use white noise now for sounders? Like vehicles are reversing it, does beepers, and then they use white noise, don't they? Because you can hear it better.
Yeah, it's because you can. The problem with the beep is because you get the reflections, you can't hear where it's coming from. But a wideband sound, in fact, certainly building sites in the UK, those are compulsory now compared to the beeper ones because you can actually hear where it's coming
because
from.
you can direction find a bit better.
Yeah.
Someone's asking, is this a regular thing? Well, it is for me. Normally it's just me, but we did have one Hangout before, but I don't know if it'll be a regular. It's irregular, yes.
Yeah.
Irregular. I don't think we'd do it every week. No, that's a bit too much. But I do plan on doing a live Hangout every Saturday morning my time. I've been doing it for 2 weeks straight. That's commitment. You know.
How long have I been doing the live streams?
Ages.
Yes.
Since the beginning of COVID is when I started doing it. It's just cut out, by the way. It's up to temperature. And like experience, it comes with the more you do them, so to speak.
Yeah.
But mine are just turned.
You actually clashed with my streams. I was actually doing streams at the same time. I was actually doing streams at the same time as BigClive, and you actually, when COVID hit, you started streaming, and it started clashing with the streams I was doing. It's like, that's all right. People flip and flop between the two anyway, so it didn't really matter. But
yeah,
you didn't steal.
I don't do it regularly.
Oh right, okay. Did you see figures drops? Because I noticed mine, people just drop in and out. They seem to switch between the streams, and that's fine.
Yeah,
that's
they
how
go
they're
between
kind of designed
them.
to.
Yeah.
And there's YouTubers out there who will try and get their audience to sort of like invade another stream by like and say this in somebody else's chat, and then everyone in the chat just puts some weird thing or something like that.
Oh right, okay, that's an idea.
Yeah, so you can invade.
I've got this. This is the sound. Literally, if you load the flash out of that ionic box, load it into Audacity, this is what you get. Can you hear that?
That's it.
Very dramatic.
And there's about 2 or 3 stages of speed. Okay, put it back to the beginning. Hang on a sec.
No, mine sounds all the same. Mine sounds consistently the same.
No, it does actually go. There's a
Very tuned.
changes pitch.
See, that does not sound like a car. Oh, it does
Sounds
change
like a
pitch.
Hammond
Wow.
organ.
Yeah, it's like an organ. How is that simulating the sound of a car?
It's not
That's
meant
why
to.
the first time I
it's not.
heard
The thing
it.
is, does a car have to sound like a car?
No, it just has to
Well,
sound
no,
like something.
I guess it doesn't.
Yeah.
Could sound like a boat.
But yeah.
I want my car to
Okay,
sound like a moped.
Maybe she should just go.
Like Jetsons.
Ding-a-ling, ding-a-ling.
Yeah.
So, Mike, does your one have a switch to turn that off? Because I know
Yes,
some models do.
Yeah, it
Mine
does. but
doesn't.
Any car that was in the UK, any car type approved after something like July 2020 has to have it, and you can't turn it off. But mine was
You can't
just
turn it off,
slightly,
yep.
slightly before that. So on mine you can turn it
Mine
off.
is a 2020 model, and
Yeah.
I can't switch it off. The manual actually says it shows you the switch, but there's
Yeah.
no switch there.
Yeah, you probably can actually wire a switch in because it's just like a resistor
Right.
on a common line with each button has a different resistor, so you probably could add it. Whether it needs
Right.
enabling or not somewhere else, but worst case you can always pull the plug out of the module. The car doesn't
Yeah.
complain.
Anyway, mine's so low that nobody hears it, so
Yeah,
it's
it's too low.
pointless.
It's way
The only time I hear it is when I'm in like a garage and it's deathly quiet, and then I can hear this low level.
Mine's actually got some more high frequency sort of components to it. It's not as low as that. It's like a sort of it's almost like a little choir, just like singing one note. About 3 people singing different notes.
Yeah.
Is the
Maybe it's
speaker
a bird
facing
song, Dave.
forward?
Yeah.
Right.
be
Okay,
honest-
so I won't bother doing a video on that then because you've already got one of the devices. So, yeah, I was going to like set up microphones near it and try and capture the
Yeah,
the noise.
I haven't
but-
figured out the CAN bus commands to actually drive it directly. I must
Right.
go at that at some point. Someone's done it for the Kona, but the commands are different from the Kona one.
Oh, really? Okay.
From audio perspective, I would say anything is better than nothing, though, because they're too quiet, modern electric vehicles. It's gone back to the silent death where people got knocked down by electric trams because they couldn't hear them approaching.
Yeah, but
You
do
can
you
beat
hear
your
how many
horn,
people
or-
being run over by Priuses?
No.
I
Well,
don't
know if
know.
that's-
I don't think there's a huge incidence of
Because, I mean,
anyone being run
you know,
over by electric cars.
Mercedes and BMWs are really quiet. You know, a lot of ICE cars are really quiet.
Yeah. So, yep.
Then again, don't they have also the facility to slam on the brakes themselves if they do detect something walking out? So that might
Yeah.
be limiting the number of incidents.
Mine does that as well.
I don't.
And
I don't I've
occasionally
never
does it by
encountered that in
itself.
Oh, that's
Right.
annoying.
Yeah.
See, that's
I've
not
not
nice.
had
That would
mine.
be nice.
I think mine
Did I
has
do,
it, but
turn
I've
that off?
never-
Did I do emergency stops of birds flying past you?
Yeah, you can turn it off. The problem is you've got to turn it off every time you start it. It's not a persistent setting because it's a safety system. You're not allowed to permanently turn it off.
Oh,
See-
okay, right.
That'll be
Magneticus
annoying.
attractus. Magneticus attractus is the right idea. It needs more cowbell. You should have the cowbell option on it, so it's just like dang, 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 dang as you're going along the road.
I actually thought about doing a test where I set up a bunch of cardboard boxes and then see if my car would stop if I
You probably
tried to drive
need
into it.
tin because it uses radar. You probably need to put tin foil over them.
I was gonna put tin foil on the front. Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Or
And
Do
fill,
it.
tin foil, our foil. Yep.
fill a random one with concrete just for extra excitement.
Just
Russian
for extra-
roulette. Do you feel lucky?
I might go down to the dumpster room, find a whole bunch of cardboard boxes. That's not hard.
The other thing
So,
I think would be fun because you're near the Blue Mountains, Dave. Is there a charger at the top of Blue Mountains?
There is, yes.
So charge to 100% and see how far you regen before it says can't regen anymore and drop the regen because apparently they do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
The one annoying thing about mine, I normally charge it to 80%, right? And when I, just after I've charged it, it actually cuts out, the battery's at 80% or whatever, then I always have the regen turned on. So as soon as I start driving the damn thing at 80%, this error message comes up and says, oh, we cannot charge. Your charge is not possible. Because it's like, but it's only at 80%. And I'm sure that's coming from the regen system. So it's like as soon as I start driving and braking,
try changing it to 100% and see if it still does that.
yeah,
After
see if it still does it. But it does at 80, which is dumb.
It shouldn't do that. It shouldn't do that.
Yeah, it shouldn't do that at 80%. I can understand at 100. Okay, well, I'm not going to put
But
any more juice in the
do
battery.
you still get the regen? The regen still actually happens, does it? You
The
still get
regen,
fade
yes,
down.
the regen
Yeah.
still happens at 80, but it won't.
Yeah.
It won't
Weird.
put it back into the battery.
Shouldn't
So I'm
give
not
you a
sure.
message.
Yeah, it does. It's annoying. It's and it's only after I physically remove it from charge and then and then drive off and then yep.
No, but I'll be interested to see
Bloody
what happens
annoying.
when you do 100% and then a long regen down a hill.
And then a long regen out there. Yeah, I could try that. Yeah. And unfortunately, the charger up there is sort of like on the flat bit, so I'd have to drive the flat bit before I started the downhill, so it's not directly on top of the mountain.
Yeah,
It's up
there's
there,
quite a
but
lot.
it's-
There's quite a lot of downhill though, isn't there?
Oh yes, yeah, and I've done that, and yeah, from Blackheath, which is the highest point in the Blue Mountains, I've tested this twice. From Blackheath down to Penrith, which is the base of the mountains, I use on average 0 energy.
Yeah, you've got
Zero
actually go-
energy
start-
in
go
both
up.
in coast mode and in regen mode, and
Yeah.
I don't think it'll measure negative, right? So it won't. So it'll just say it won't say, oh, you've used negative miles or whatever. Like it just
the
like
GOM display will
used
go up. I
negative
think.
energy.
I think the GOM goes up. the miles remaining. I think that will go up.
That will go up. You can
Yeah.
you can tell based
Your
on that, but
percentage.
the actual consumption won't go negative. Yeah,
Maybe not.
So,
So if
I've
you're
done
going-
that. So coast or regen makes no difference.
If you're going downhill, do you feel the regen kick in and out? Is there a distinct transition when it
You
suddenly
can control
decides
it
to coast?
manually.
You can set the levels.
Yeah, you can basically you can set about 4 different levels as to what happens when you lift off the throttle. So you can either have it to completely coast or regen quite hard, so you can drive hardly ever using the brake. But also
Yep.
the first pass of the brake pedal is regen, and then when you go further down, it starts putting the physical brakes on. But the other thing it
Yep.
also does, it's got a radar, so that if you start approaching the car in front, it will add more regen to slow you down from the car in front.
It does that. My house is at the bottom of a really steep road going down, so it's at the bottom down there. So every time I drive home, I don't have to use the brake going down there. The regen just like I go over the lip and start going down, and the regen just takes me slowly down. It's
Is the
fantastic.
regen a soft transition? Does it come in slowly or does it suddenly kick in? I take it it's just a sort of
Oh,
soft.
it's fairly slow. It's
No,
fairly
so,
soft.
I mean, literally, if you do
Yeah.
the throttle, at some point, below a certain point, it's giving you forward thrust, lift off, and then it's null. And as you lift further off, it applies the regen doesn't vary a huge amount, but it's not. I mean, it's totally smooth. It's not like jabbery or jerky at all.
No, it's nice. It won't suddenly hit you. It's you know.
I think what it does is, as you lift off, it goes from 0 up to whatever level you set as a maximum. Yeah, it doesn't
no,
just
it's nice.
literally go from off to on. It goes off to a maximum
okay.
level over a certain amount of travel of the throttle pedal.
Someone has not heard me say winner winner chicken dinner. You have now. Thank you.
Davba2 says, what about having someone on minimum wage running in front of the red flag? Do you know, that's something that frustrates me. They actually make us do that with cherry pickers and building sites. And you think, the cherry pickers have a maximum speed of 5 miles an hour and they make loud sort of engine and beep noises, and yet they still expect someone to walk in front of them. And you're also, every 5 years, you have to go in a very expensive one-day slideshow presentation to make sure you still know how to drive them. And yet, strangely, people that enforce this, they don't seem happy about doing their driving test every 5 years, even though electric vehicles are so completely different, because vehicles over time have evolved. You didn't have touchscreen panels on them that have like insane buttons and stuff like that. It's all very odd.
EV isn't much different from an automatic driving. I mean, it's not. Yeah, it's just quieter and smoother and goes like shit off a shovel when you put your foot down.
No.
And can you switch on and off the creep?
There's another Clive
Yes,
here. Oh,
sort
hang
of.
on. Clive Flint, not Big Clive. Clive Flint asks, the flappy regen pedal shouldn't be needed. Just learn to modulate your foot on the accelerator pedal. No, on my Ionic, if I hold down the flappy pedal, it'll actually regen harder than the highest level of regen. It'll actually put extra regen on top. So I actually use that to come to a complete stop at the lights.
That is pretty much
brakes on a bicycle.
That is pretty much the same as using the brake pedal, but not pressing it all the way down.
Yes,
but it does.
Yep.
It basically, what it means, it guarantees you're getting max regen and no friction brakes, and it's hard to tell where that point is on the brake pedal.
Yep, totally. And yeah, you simply mine's got 3 different levels of regen, and even if I have it in the highest regen mode, it's still not even close to the maximum amount of regen I can get by using the paddle. The paddle's great. Yeah.
Those birds are still twittering.
They are indeed. Keep in mind, it's kind of morning where you guys are, isn't it? Sort of morning to midday.
It's 20 to 1 here now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Afternoon.
Yeah, we've been going 2.5 hours. Jeez.
Yeah.
We probably
Easy
shouldn't
done
go
though,
past
isn't it?
3. I'd say that's getting a bit much.
Yep.
How about if people? How about if people in the chat ask us some questions? How about that?
Well, I'll answer the question about this board now.
Oh, okay.
Or the hang nozzle. Now, people in the chat did actually pick it up. It's a transistor curve tracer. So it's a kit you can buy.
Oh, nice.
It does several levels. It switches through. and it's a little relatively cheap curve tester. I've got to finish building it yet. Got to find a decent case to put it in. But
I've always thought about making one of those transistor curve tracers.
Who actually needs a curve tracer?
Nobody needs one anymore. It's back when you had to select transistors, you know.
I was thinking of using it for doing verification of old parts. If I've got a part which I'm not sure is okay, I can chuck it through it and make sure it's looking all right.
Dave.
Yeah, it's almost to the point where I'm going to do a tutorial on transistors, but like, should I include transistor characteristic curves? I guess I should, as a matter of course. But yeah, you're right. Like, who uses them? Like,
does it matter
I
these days?
Used them for...
I think most transistors are used digitally with pulsed modulation these days, are they not really? It's kind of rare to use them in analog format.
Analog form, yes.
Yeah. Well, I fix old stuff, so, you know, that's why.
Right.
Yeah. That question about doing a tour of shelves, what I'm planning to do is in the shed outside, I'm planning to have no paperwork at all, so that I can't accidentally show you a bank statement or something. But that's always the problem with a workshop tour. If you've left a bank statement lying around and you do a live workshop tour, that's the problem with workshop tours.
And all your passwords written over the walls and things.
All the stuff written on your desk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And knives
asked,
with blood on them.
Why do you need multiple levels of regen? Is there ever a reason for wanting to waste energy? Well, the whole point of regen is that you don't waste energy. It goes back into the battery. I mean, there's some loss there, but it's better than just using brakes and then it's actually wasted in heat.
It's a personal preference thing,
what do you
really.
think? What do you think the efficiency of regen is? Because I've always thought it would be hopeless.
Don't know.
Well, no, it's good. It's pretty good. I mean, it's using the same inverter as the drive system.
But I mean, are you going to get 90% recovery or something like that?
Probably, yeah.
I think it's pretty high. I think it's 80 or 90, something
I've
like
seen
that.
a
I've
figure
always
that
wanted
on-
to know exactly how it works. Like, I've never really thought about or looked into the details of, like, circuit-wise how it
I mean,
actually
all the inverter is doing is it's taking your 400-volt battery system and chopping it into 3 phases. And regen, it's just doing the same thing backwards. I mean, I saw a figure somewhere that they reckon that regen adds 25% of the rate. Yeah, if you didn't have regen at all on EV, it's about 25% improvement in range having the regen. Just because obviously it varies. Like stop-start traffic in city, it's obviously a much bigger factor to highway driving. But
but didn't you, Dave, try to do an experiment where you drove around without regen and then you tried it again with regen and tried to calculate the amount you got back?
Yes, but then I realised the problem with that is that it's always going to be doing regen when I use the brake pedal anyway. So if you use the
you
brake
can't turn
pedal,
it completely off.
No, you can't turn it completely off.
There's no
I
reason
thought you
to.
could, but no.
There's no reason
Exactly.
to turn
There's
it
no
off.
reason to turn. I mean, you can turn it off, and then it's in coasting mode. But that which works. Like, so when you take your foot off the pedal, it won't do any regen, and that's fantastic for like highway cruising and stuff like that. It's just really nice. But when you put your foot on the brake to slow down, it will use regen, even if you have regen mode switched off.
Yeah.
So there's no
my Kona will regen. You can actually put a display on where it shows charge and discharge rates, and I've seen it regen at about 170 kilowatts.
Oh, right. Yours actually shows the power level of the regen.
There's about three. If you go about 3 levels into the EV menu on the screen, it will show like current power being used, current regen power, current being used, being used by heating.
Okay.
And that updates about twice a second.
So what's the maximum kilowatts? What's the maximum kilowatts of the of putting your foot to the floor that you're putting into the engine?
150 kilowatts on mine.
Mine's 110.
So you get more regen back than you
110.
can put into the motor.
I think so. I don't know what the actual limits are, but I've definitely seen. I mean, it may well be that when you put and the motor is nominal rating is 150 kilowatts. I'm not sure if I've looked at what that is when you actually floor it, but that's the brochure rating of the motor. But I have seen regen figures slightly above that.
Hold on. Do electric cars? Do they have a geek mode? They should have a geek mode that gives you all the electrical statistics of what's going on right at that point in time.
Mine does that. It can give you like the power, like how much power the aircon's taking, how much power the radio's taking, and all the electrics and stuff like that. So it does have a screen for that.
Yeah.
It's I don't, but I would like more nerdy stats. You
Yeah,
know,
I'd like more
gives you-
nerdy
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to know all the information. I want to know the frequency of the inverter and stuff like that.
Somebody asked, what car does Mike have? Mike has a Kona. Mike has a
right.
fully electric Kona, whereas I've got the Ionic, which is the sedan
Find a
version.
Yeah,
I
Andy
want
Master
the new 5. The
Vocoder's
new
on
5
hold.
looks good.
Yeah, I've got
Can
this
I
nice
mention-
little,
Oh.
little gadget. Hang on. Just plug it in so you can see what it does.
Is this a heads-up display or something like that? Is it?
This is just a little box. This talks to a Bluetooth OBD dongle, and this will give you stuff like real-time charge, discharge power, battery temperature, cell deviation.
All right.
There's
Nice.
actually there's a phone app called Talk.
Torque,
Talk as in
Torque
engine
is
talk.
amazing. It's
Yeah.
like Ian Hawkins or something like that. Ian Hawkins. It's an amazing piece of software.
Yeah, and you can use that on the just with a cheap Bluetooth dongle. But this one's specifically for the Kia Hyundai. You could get one of these for yours, Dave.
Right.
But say
Okay,
Talk, you
cool.
can get similar things.
Nice.
So you won't find it on here
Yep.
actually.
I'll try and get it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
called I
I'd
think
certainly love to have one.
EVOBD. I think it's called.
Oh,
right.
yeah,
It-
I think I've heard of that. Yeah.
Needs a big display.
Yeah,
Big tally screen.
Yeah, big.
yeah.
Yeah. So you spend more time actually. You don't have. That's why they make them self-driving. It's so you can keep looking at the stats without worrying where you're going.
That's Talk. Apparently, if you've got Android Auto set up, you can actually get all this through Talk on your main infotainment screen using Android Auto.
Oh, that
And I
sounds
think
good.
on what some of the Hyundai, someone's actually figured out how to load Android apps onto the infotainment system directly, and I've seen a picture of that running natively within the infotainment screen.
Because the Torque system lets you add loads of extra gauges
Yeah,
and
you can
things like that.
customize. Yeah, you can customize
It's-
it, all sorts of dials, everything. Yeah,
It's a geeky piece of software.
yeah.
Someone's talking about the huge screen on the Tesla. Apparently they failed, don't they? They actually got sued or something, and they had to recall the screens on
Yeah,
the
the
Teslas 'cause
they were keeping logs, and the logs were wearing out the flash memory endurance.
Oh, is that what
Can
it
you
was?
drive it?
Okay, right.
Can you drive the car if the screen
Yeah,
is failed?
I think so. You don't get
Yes,
the problem with the
it's
Tesla
got a-
things like your speedo is on the big screen, and
Yeah.
I'm not Tesla. I'm not totally sure. I'm certainly I know on like cars like ours you can if the entertainment.
My screen did actually crash once, and it went completely black. It's only happened once, but the car still drove fine, and I could use the instrument cluster in the front because I normally don't use the center screen for anything really.
Yeah, I
so,
was
yeah.
dicking about in service mode in mine, like it went into some weird firmware update mode, so that was a bit,
Right.
but it sorted itself out. But the car was quite happy driving with
Yeah.
it like that. But I'm not sure about the Tesla. The screen does a lot more on the Tesla. So
Mike, are you still working on your V2L mod?
I'm still thinking about it. The one thing there's one thing that's stopping me at the moment because the car does like a isolate the HV system in the car is isolated from everything else, and it does isolation checks. What I don't know is if that check fails, do I need a special Hyundai tool to reset it or not? Now,
Right.
if I knew for certain that I could reset if it happened, I've actually got. Hang on a sec.
That's danger. Everyone goes, oh, why don't I experiment
Some
on my
of you
car?
will
It's like,
recognise what this is.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is a CCS
Yes.
charge plug, but
Yep.
I was
enormous.
Plan A was just to intercept the contactors, drive the contactors directly. But I'm now thinking more: can I actually do enough of the CCS stuff to get it to think it's charging? So I had a chat with a guy who works on like V2G stuff, and they have actually got a VW ID4 doing V2G, although CCS doesn't formally support it. They start up a charge session and just don't carry on the charge, which is enough to get the car to close its contactors so they can then pull energy out. And I think this is something that varies a lot from cars. Obviously some cars might think, hang on a minute, I think I'm charging but I'm seeing like minus 20 amps, what's going on, I'm going to shut down. And others might think he's starting a charge session but then it might time out. But CCS is a ridiculously complicated standard, but I may or may not pursue that. There are some open source projects around that.
I was going to ask, how do you, for a car that's not designed for vehicle to load, how would you get it back out. But yes, the CCS, when you plug that HVDC, it's effectively straight across the battery, isn't it?
Literally,
it has a big
the
relay
only
in there,
thing between these
is it-
pins and your battery are 2 contactors.
Right.
Well,
So
answering
all the
Dave Ward,
charging stuff is in the charger. So all
Yes.
the charging, right? It's in the physical external charger.
Yeah.
Right.
answering Dave
Wow.
Ward here, yes, people have bricked their electric vehicles.
Yep.
Usually battery violations.
Yeah. I don't want to do that.
No.
Mrs.
Kind of
EV
expensive.
blog would not be happy. Yeah.
Well, no, he's just under warranty. I don't know, mate. It just stopped
Under
working.
warranty, don't know.
Yeah.
Have you noticed how the petrol heads absolutely hate electric vehicles because
Yeah.
they're just not got
Yeah,
that sort
yeah.
of, and they are. It's just
Yep.
modular. There's nothing in them. It's just like the motor drives and the battery and the power drive and things like that.
Yeah. But,
But-
but once they drive one and put their foot down, they change their mind.
They love it when they
Yes.
feel this power. But so much geekery in the future. It's already happening there. Who's that guy messes around with the electric, with the Teslas? Rich Rebuilds. That's
seen
the
his
one.
latest
Some of his stuff's
project?
interesting.
His latest
Particularly-
project is putting a V8 engine in a Tesla.
Right.
And he's actually finished it. He's showing at the SEMA show this week, so his next video will probably be that. But literally, and it's not, he's doing literally integrating it with all the car electronics, and all the mechanics. Like built a transmission tunnel. It's amazing. It's just amazing. V8
incredible.
Tesla.
One of my favourite videos is his when he got the little Disney vehicle and put the Tesla battery in it, but then overcharged it, and it just started blowing up. And this shiny fire truck turns up, and you can see the batteries ricocheting off its front. It was great, and it was just like, what do we do?
The other one I loved was he got it was one of these really early, really crappy electric cars, and he rejigged it using drill batteries. And the concept was that you can supercharge it. You just drive to a Home Depot and exchange the drill batteries.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, people have done that with their Power Wheels. Is it the kids' vehicles? They've just adapted them to take power tool batteries and give it extra boost.
Yeah, someone should do that for a C5. Tesla engine in a C5.
You're going to do a
so
C5, aren't you,
C5
Dave?
still got
I've
lead
got
acid
a
in it,
Sinclair
though.
C5, but it's currently in pieces in the bunker. I've only
Yeah.
done part one. It's still sitting there. It's hoisted up on its.
But it's lead
thing,
acid,
it's
isn't
got
it? Is it 12 volts?
It's a 12-volt lead acid. Yeah, I think it works. I think it does actually go, but it's so crusty. Jesus, I don't know how I'm ever going to finish that.
Look at the comments. Mouse. I know Mouse has been messing about with car battery drives for making an electric bike. That should be quite interesting. Mouse, who did this little badge here, he's made various things like a diesel bike, but his latest thing I think is electric bike. But the drives for them being scavenged from other older electric vehicles, they're just indestructible. You can literally short them out and they just survive. It's not like the old drives that we used to know that used to shorten them out would just make them explode in flames. They're really good.
We missed a super
Apparently, I
chat.
missed a super chat. Sorry, handyman. Can you give us that again? Because I can't find it. Don't pay money again, but just leave it in the comments. I missed it.
So I've tested GLC PCB's $2 offer by V-cutting it into lots of tiny little circuit boards. Their $2 offer cost $30 by the time I'd finished. I just thought I'd mention that. Puts the price up quite a lot.
I
Is
got
that just
caught out.
postage?
Come on, $30 for a PCB.
Yeah.
When I was a boy, Jesus, come
It
on.
was.
just
It used to- and it used to be a minimum of 100. Yeah, and it was
I've got some
expensive.
PCBs on the way right now, which I've just designed a couple of days ago. It's a LoRa to Wi-Fi/LAN gateway device. I designed this a while ago as a Wi-Fi gateway to a LoRa network, which is a custom system I've designed for events I work at. And we had issues the last event we worked at last weekend, where the Wi-Fi decided it didn't want to work anymore. It was connected, but it wouldn't communicate. Really odd. And I thought, right, I did actually buy some modules for LAN conversions. It uses an SPI interface, and it goes from SPI to LAN. It's a W5500 chipset.
I use those. Those are great.
Oh, yeah. So I've designed these boards to work with the ESP32 to plug the LAN into the unit instead, so I can then switch between LAN and Wi-Fi if I need to as a backup. It's a fallover. So I've got those boards coming now, and those are like $5 for the boards. Once I paid for postage, it's $55. But these are sponsorships. They didn't cost me anything, but it's good. Few boards.
I got caught out by JLC. You know, they charge extra if you've got more than one design on a panel. So I did a board that had like 2 copies of one circuit and 3 copies of another. The problem is that when I did the 3 copies of another, I just did it in my PCB software. So the reference designator of a part went 1, 2, 3 across these panels. So they charged me for 3 separate designs just because the silk screen was different. It's really annoying.
Actually, I've got a printout of this board here. Actually, I've got my test fit printout. Don't know what's going to come out on camera, but that's what the board looks like.
Yeah.
You've got thugs on that. Anyway, just to make sure the parts are actually going to fit on.
Oh yeah, I'll do
Somebody's
that
got a question for BigClive. Ginger beer or ginger billy?
Ginger beer and Ginger Billy. Ginger Billy is actually a YouTuber who plays the redneck. It looks fine
yes,
to
I've
me.
seen it. It's good. Yeah.
I haven't seen it. Okay.
Yeah.
I got him to do a cameo for one of my moderators, which is Furbear, who had initially mentioned Ginger Billy. And I just said, do you know what Cameo is? There's a website called cameo.com, and you can sign up.
Heard of it.
And it lets you basically record messages to people, they pay, and you give them a personal message. So I asked Ginger Billy to do a personal message for Furbear, and it was so awkward. He was so clearly just a little tiny bit homophobic. It was just really awkward. It was like, this is my wife. It's like, I'm married. Very awkward. Awkward for him, and Furbear also found it very awkward. It was a bit embarrassing, actually.
It's
Money
not a
well
oscilloscope, it's
spent.
just a box. It's just a box.
Oh, it's just a box, is it? Okay. Oscilloscope doorstop. Yep.
I don't have that many scopes. I've got a few, but not that many.
Incidentally, surface mount soldering, I was trying. I did one side soldered by just hand with a soldering iron. I did the other side with solder paste and the reflowing at the hot air gun. To be honest, solder paste and hot air gun is so much easier.
Yep.
Having said that, I think if you put just enough solder on with the soldering iron and sticky flux and then stuck the resistors onto that, then the hot air would probably work just as well. Not sure.
Someone asked what PCB design software we all use.
Oh, I use
I use
Sprint
Altium
Layout.
and KiCad. Well,
I use an old version of Eagle, version 7.6, and KiCad if I need a board bigger than 100mm. Because I'm a cheapskate, I don't pay for stuff.
KiCad 2006.
KiCad
Obviously, I use
2006.
Easy EDA.
Easy.
So-
Web.
Then I would.
Which is now, is that Altium owned now?
No, it's
No, which
by
one did Altium
JLC
buy?
PCB.
Oh, okay. Yeah, JLC. Right. Yep.
Matt and Bally, I just applied the paste manually, no stencil. The reason I use Sprint Layout is because I started off with Boardmaker 1, which was a DOS printed circuit board design package with no automatic features, not even the schematic. It just, you bang down pads and tracks, and I just got used to that because a lot of my stuff is kind of artistic.
Is there another way to do PCBs?
Indeed.
What is the schematic capture of which you
Okay,
speak?
everyone's first PCB package. What was the first one you ever used?
I wrote my own.
Boardmaker 1.
I attempted to write my own. Yep.
Actually, I've written 2. One on the BBC microcode, then one on the ARC that I used a lot because that was when PCB's software was really expensive.
I used Aldous freehand.
The first PCBs I made, I used Photoshop and drew it out by hand and entered a transparent.
If we're talking,
I just
if
used
we're talking, yeah, are we talking Tandy rub-on transfers here? Because that was my first one.
We're talking
I've done
that was mine as well, of course. The Tandy rub-on transfers.
Crepe tapes, anybody?
Let's not go back there. Crepe tapes, indeed, yes.
Daylo pen.
Oh,
Yes, yeah.
But you know,
Yeah.
you come across
Use
those old
those
circuit boards. You come across old circuit boards that were done with the crepe tapes by professionals, and they look quite nice. You know, they've got that those nice curves.
Curve traces, yeah.
Don't get that anymore.
What the hell? The hell is? Oh, there we go. Yep.
One of the designs, obviously blown up for assembly. I've got some other stuff in here somewhere. This is a circuit which I reverse engineered. Somebody else designed, which I reverse engineered from, I don't know, many years ago.
Oh, wow.
Reverse engineered it, made me on board.
Nice
Transparency.
fancy angles. I like that.
Nice.
Can I just say, my first hand-etched circuit board, it was really slow, nothing was really happening, so I went to bed, got up in the morning, and the copper was gone. Everything. It was a blank piece of material.
I once made a very wide PCB, and I didn't have a UV box big enough, so I stuck it out in the garden for 20 minutes under the sun.
I actually used a standard fluorescent lamp, because that worked for me using a photoresist board. I don't know what size, that size. That's what it was. I just laid it over the top, make sure it's all as evenly lit as possible, and it worked fine.
The first CAD package I ever used was called Keepic. And that was the guy's last name. He was in South Australia, I believe, and he wrote it. And there was this little ad in the local magazine, like, PCB software for $50 or something, or it was free, or was it shareware at that time or something? I think it might have been just shareware was a big thing back then. And yeah, that's the first one I used, was called Keepic software. So I don't know whatever happened to that. But then, of course, I discovered Protel. None of this Altium rubbish. It's called Protel back then, and written by a Tasmanian who I ended up working for. So there you go. Ended up working at Altium. That was... Yep.
Remus Munt says, I spilt my etching liquid and melted the plug pins of my blender. Excellent. I'm just thinking...
What are you putting your PCB in your blender for?
I guess ultimately, Ebdi uses the kitchen as a printed circuit board lab then.
Yeah.
In my Glasgow flat, I have a dedicated shelf with the triple tank develop, wash and etch system all plumbed in and everything. It's a huge mess because it used ferric chloride. It's just the wall behind it is just pebble dashed with ferric chloride. It does.
And
I can remember I was working at GSC Marconi, which is a military, working on underwater sonar stuff. That was my first contract job, actually. And then I was laying out and making all the boards, and that's what I was a contractor, and that's what they hired me for, is to design and build all the boards. And I would etch them in, it was a huge, big complex. Like, it had 10 buildings. It was an absolutely enormous place. It's all now bloody apartments and stuff. It's all gone. But yeah, they used to have these big trough, tap, these big, troughs with taps on them, like the old ones you had at school or something, for washing things. So I would be out there in the middle of the corridor etching my PCBs, and some people came up, you can't do that. You can't, I don't know. I'm doing it. What are you going to do about it? Like back then, because I need to make boards fairly quickly, like prototype boards and stuff. And so I would etch and hand drill them, and I'd do them all on site at the company there. And they were amazed. I can remember them being amazed that I could hand solder SMD parts. Wow. Oh, their mind was blowing.
There's no choice these days, is there?
Yeah. They were absolutely amazed that I could hand etch and hand solder these SMD boards.
I can remember at school making my first batch of ferric chloride in an aluminium tray. It did not go well.
Yeah. Well done.
It went down the drain, and panic and lots of water, and then the teacher came in and said, "Where's the ferric chloride?" And it's down the drain. Very
Someone
awkward.
wants to know if Mike drinks.
No.
Mike drinks the same as me. Mike doesn't drink.
Oh, you guys should drink. It's great. You say stuff.
I see what it does to other people. It puts me off.
It's just an acquired taste I never acquired.
It's just
so
water, it's not gin.
Right.
I really drink. Very rare for me to drink.
Yeah, rare for me too. Bit of cider now and again.
Oh, so I'm the alcoholic here then.
You're the
Okay.
alcoholic.
It kind of fits in the Isle of Man. Yes. Okay. Now, getting back to circuit boards. Everybody says, why would you even make circuit boards yourself when you can go to companies like PCBWay, Dirty PCBs, GLC PCB, Seed Studios and all that? And the answer is sometimes you just want a circuit board right now because you just you just want to prototype it right now.
Yeah.
And
Especially when you need one.
Yep. Have you guys tried that purple film you get off eBay, which is that you actually apply onto bare copper?
No.
It kind of is very volatile, but when it works, it's really impressive.
Is that the toner? Is that the toner transfer one? Is that like you put an iron on it and heat it up?
No.
It's
Not.
film photoresist.
It's a photoresist,
film photoresist. Oh, okay, right.
So
No,
it's a super-
I just used to buy my boards pre-photoresist coated. I'm sure.
which
you can still buy
it used to be so easy. You can still get them, but it's a fraction of the price to use this, and it's kind of more convenient in a
Oh,
way.
okay, right.
Yeah,
But it's
Yeah.
kind of
No,
fickle.
grey photoresist were useless.
I just had a large stock of positive photoresist. I wouldn't have the negative because I didn't want to have to make a negative first. So I would just do the laser. I'd either do tapes back in the old day, or I'd do laser toner transfer, like actually print it out and then onto a transparency, onto an overhead transparency, and then use that. As a
I
positive
found laser printing
photoresist.
onto tracing paper is really good. I got really good results from that.
okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, have you guys tried the sponge ferric chloride method? Because normally we would use a bubble tank or we just agitate it to actually do it.
Yep.
The latest
I've never
thing,
tried
and it
sponge.
works really well, is you use a tiny amount of ferric chloride, and it sounds like you're going to rub all your graphics off the circuit board, but you wet the sponge in ferric chloride and then you just rub the circuit board continually.
Like, when you say it's the latest thing, I mean,
It's
really?
the latest. Oh, it's the latest.
thing.
Oh, Julian, it is so
I can-
recent.
I can actually picture that working because then it would have an abrasion effect as well. It'd
It's
have
not-
a gentle
It
abrasion.
clears the layer that's just etched and exposes
Yes.
it to new liquid. It is so
Yeah.
fast. It is really,
Really?
fast.
Well,
Literally
you would have
within
to wear
just
gloves, obviously. You'd have to.
yeah.
You don't scrub
Literally-
it, do you? It's a very light action.
It's a very light action, but it only takes 1 or 2 minutes to fully etch the circuit board, and it uses hardly any ferric chloride. It's very good.
I had a whole bunch of people actually believe in my April video that was released in April where I etched PCBs with tap water. Because there is actually it's technically true that there is ferric chloride it's put into your drinking water. They actually put it in. My wife's an environmental. She used to work for Sydney Water. She knows all about water quality and she's a water quality scientist. And and they do actually put ferric chloride into your, at least here in Australia, into your drinking water. It's designed to clean the pipes and stuff like that. But but it doesn't actually make it to your tap. It just, it's designed for.
I mean, what
You know,
pipes?
it
Plastic
does something
pipes
in the
or
pipes.
metal pipes?
No, ours are all like clay or whatever. They're all like
Oh.
no, or they're a concrete or something. Anyway, yeah, they do put ferric chloride. You can actually go to the Sydney Water website and they detail what they put into the water, and ferric chloride's one of them. So
That's
yeah,
odd.
trace amounts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So I did this video where I put magnets on the bottom of a cup and I filled it with tap water and just ran it for 10 minutes as if it's actually the
Going to
magnets are
suck all the
attracting
ferric
all of
chloride
the suck all the ferric out of it, and I etched the PCB.
Well, I mean, if they were
People-
powerful enough,
people believed
well,
it.
maybe not then.
Oh, well, I was using a powerful neodymium magnet, and people believed it worked. It was my sleight of hand.
Problem is, once you've used it for
Yep.
PCB etching, it's got copper in it. You're not supposed to put that down the drain.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Once it's got copper, yep.
I'm just thankful I'm on tap water because I live rurally, so
I used to
tanks.
pour mine in the backyard when I was a kid.
I used to
dump
just
it in the
really, really
backyard.
heavily dilute it down the drain.
Yeah.
The official method of getting rid of it for like the what was the name of that? There was a pack system where you got the ferric chloride in a sealed. It was basically that plastic sleeve.
CNOGS.
CNOGS, but their system was to put plaster of Paris in that turned it into a solid inert lump, so you could dispose of it, and then someone else has to worry about
Or
it.
just
I guess,
soak it into
later on.
newspaper and put it in the trash.
Or just put it down the drain because it's not going to do that much anyway. But let's not talk about that. But copper chloride, it's a lovely green colour, but unfortunately the acid I got over here had some sort of detergent in it. It was for brick cleaning. And it didn't just remove the resist, but it also, when you try pumping the air through it to reprocess it into the copper chloride, it regenerates it. it just foamed up horribly. I didn't have much luck with it.
Somebody's reminded us it's now 3 hours. I think we've done 3 hours, guys. I think
2 hours to go.
that's
It's
probably
fine.
enough.
Yeah.
What do you
Halfway.
think?
It's the witching
Halfway
hour,
through.
Yeah, 3
Yeah,
hours.
it's pretty
I
late
think
over
we
there,
should-
isn't it? Yeah.
midnight.
Amateurs.
It's only
Yeah. Wait till the last man
11 a.m.
standing.
here. It's lunchtime.
How long's my
Yeah,
stream going to
it's
last tomorrow night on BigClive Live? It's going to last a very long time.
3 hours.
Yeah.
Over 3 hours.
Anyway, I think we
Usual.
should call it quits, guys. 3 hours is plenty, I reckon.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
What do you reckon? All right.
Time
Thank you,
flies.
everyone, for
Oh, someone said a
showing up.
woofle? Can we have a
okay.
woofle
Oh,
before
right,
we go?
yes,
Stereo.
that's
I
the
think we have
final.
a.
Yep, a final.
I think we'll have a
Hang
super
on,
big
hang on,
woofle
hang on.
then. It's
I'll
an
go.
enormous woofle then. Oh my
Here we
god.
go.
It's too big.
That'd be the big one that sets his beard on fire.
Nice. That would be tragic. Whoa, hang on, Mike. What the hell?
Just a
Yeah.
IPA in a.
Yeah, the IP is
Yep.
very good for that.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
creates great flames. Makes a nice thump as well.
Yeah. I do have polystyrene tiles on my
See,
feet, so I need to be
No.
People from Australia and New Zealand are too scared to do things like this, apparently.
Well, it's
sensible.
$1,800. If this fire alarm goes off, it's $1,800.
Oh, screw it. If I get the new building, it's got a fire alarm in it, but does not call the fire brigade, which is one of the first things I
Right.
asked. And it'll
Yes.
it'll probably also be disconnected.
Yep. So it's a fully independent building, is it, Clive? It's not attached to any other.
It is a physically attached, but not like where flames could go through. There's a Chinese restaurant that actually butts right up to it. So like it's probably more likely going to be the Chinese restaurant that goes on fire.
It goes up in
That's your
flames,
building
yeah.
on fire. Yeah.
And remember, your smoke detectors there, Dave. A rubber glove is all you need to deactivate
I
them.
have used a rubber glove several times.
Yes.
No, I haven't. I
Yes,
haven't
obviously not,
used a
because
rubber
it's very
glove
dangerous.
for insurance purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to be living there as well, Clive?
No, I'm not. Although, to be honest, it'd be nice if I did, because the top floor would be quite nice as a sort of like penthouse apartment. You shall see. If I get it, there'll be a video tour, including going on top. You can actually go up a stair onto the top of the lift, what they call the elevator shack, on top of the building, which has a very scenic view.
Oh, excellent.
That'll be good.
Nice. All right,
We'll see what
guys.
happens.
Thanks for joining us.
Cheers, Dave, for setting it up.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
no worries. Thanks for everyone who and I'll donate the super chats. I'll figure out how much it total was, and I'll donate.
Go
it
and
to
chat links down
somebody.
below for all the channels.
Yep. Archive.org
Will do.
is a good option. That's possible. Yep.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks for that.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.
Yeah.
In